Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. However you happen to be watching and or listening to this, I want to welcome you to the latest episode of the Gaming Circle Podcast. But this week we are excited because we are swimming in games, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, there are so many games, great games too. But there's some gloom and doom and some other things that we're going to talk about. and maybe the return of the king. We'll see what happens there. I am, of course, your host, Mr. K. Asante. TK Asante on all the places we communicate. And I'm joined by the one who seems to be in Antarctica, Mr. Everborn Saga. Good morning,
if you don't sit your Florida behind down. I'm in New York, bro. Sir. I'm all right. And when you said Return of the King, I thought you were talking about me, but I guess you meant the Master Chief. It's bittersweet.
This guy right here. This guy. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing fine. Yes, we are 30 minutes late. Blame it on the ever late Saga, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Maybe we should start the show at 10:30 from now on.
No,
give people a little bit of a respite. No,
absolutely not. This morning was an anomaly because Lady Everborn wanted some IHOP this morning, and I had not had pancakes in months. So I took the opportunity to say, yes, baby, we can absolutely get IHOP. So I went and got it.
I feel you, man. Hey, you got to keep that household running, bro.
I got to get my pancakes is what happened. This was not an altruistic endeavor.
I understand. She fulfills your requirements. So it fulfills your need to go run getting pancakes in the morning. Understood. Yes, understood. Anyway, no.
But yes, happy wife.
Aaron is upset with you because your pancake need is what stopped the show for 30 whole minutes.
I regret nothing. It was all worth it.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, welcome. It is good to have y'all here. I see all the great folks in the chat. Please, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button. We are actually now on the hunt for what 4K now. Oh, look at us. We're shining. After the 3K bump, it looks like folks are seeing our stuff and starting to subscribe. So thanks to all the great new people that are here. And if you are here and you haven't hit the like button yet, please consider doing so. We do this every Saturday morning. Now, we're going to talk some games, but before we do, Mr. Everborn Saga wanted us to pull an audible and go, let's talk about Halo, man. Let's just talk about Halo.
So,
what do you think?
Yes, this is true. Now, I am ecstatic on the one hand because I'm a Halo stan, and I'm specifically a Halo campaign stan, right? I thought between you and I, we can fight on who's the biggest Halo stan. But let's go, keep going. Right, and I was trepidatious about the move to. By the way, if you don't know, Halo is being remade, and it's a proper remake, like Oblivion, not like Gears Reloaded, which I think was a missed opportunity. So I think they really did what they needed to do, and it looks fantastic. Now, the other big news is that Halo, for the first time, is coming to PlayStation, which is bittersweet for some folks. I personally, wasn't a fan of this idea, but it does make sense, and I think it's good that that Halo can come back and see this success, right? But I really gotta say,
do you see the lumen of it all?
Yes.
Do you see the Unreal Engine 5 of it all?
All the feels of watching this. So the big thing here, what my concern was, is that would they be able to capture the feel of Halo in UE5? And it turns out what they're doing is allowing the Blam engine to run the mechanics in the background and letting UE5 handle the visuals, which I think is the happy medium. The only
perfect solution. Yeah.
The only disappointment I have here, because they made a lot of tweaks. They added sprint. Suck it, Halo fans that don't want the franchise to evolve. But I wish they would have added the grappling hook.
Right?
The grappling hook is my favorite thing in the Halo franchise since
I was thinking about that, sir. I was thinking about that, and I see you there, BK and Y. We're gonna get to you. We're gonna have that conversation, sir. But I understand what you're saying there, Everborn. I was thinking about the exact same thing. Now, why I think they didn't do it is because
You have
then
to
you'd have
design
to
your levels
rebuild
around
that
that.
world too much, right?
Yeah.
Because right now, as the world stands, imagine having that grapple shot. You can just traverse that world and break the game easily. Because some of those games, that some of the game late stages of the game required that verticality. You needed to use the banshee to get to certain places. Banshee, get to higher heights and whatnot. If you have a grapple shot, that it'd be over, right? The game would have to be rebuilt around that
No, and
mechanic.
I
Which,
get it. I
yeah,
get it. I get it. I just don't want, because there was a lot of great things that Infinite added, and if they're kind of starting over, I don't want to lose that functionality, because it legitimately changed the way you play a Halo game, and it modernized it for me. So this is a remake, so it's not here. They want to preserve things, but please do not, Halo Studios, don't you dare. Now I sound like the guys that don't want Run.
yeah,
But
yeah.
don't lose the grappling hook, because it added this different element to Halo Infinite and the encounters. So I really hope that it comes back in future iterations. That being said, I like the thing about that makes Halo great, right? Because everything's using UE5 these days. How do you stand out?
Yep.
And it's the art style of Halo that I just feels like really
It's so
shine
iconic, right?
with all the lumen and nanite effects and stuff that they were doing. Like just riding the warthog, seeing the reflection off the water, seeing the sand blooms when the bullets hit, like all of it just was like Halo, but for today. But you still, yeah.
I'll quickly say this. For those who know the experimentation, there have been those who have experimented with like putting ray tracing on top of Halo, right? Putting ray tracing on top of Halo, but Halo CE. And a lot of it reminds me of this, where you can see the bullets travel and you see the trajectory and the energy wave just follow because it's following the light patterns and all this. Like a lot of that is in this thing, but obviously with the right of course the right OG color palette and the right OG art style. It's very well struck, like very, very, very well struck. I was quite hyped when I saw this video. I think
and one thing that I think Infinite didn't get enough credit for is the interiors were they looked really beautiful, like the way the reflections off of the walls when you were in interior corridors, and it seems like they've captured that here, but because of UE5 now you can get that same kind of fidelity when you're out in the open, when they were doing the silent cartographer. Like watching Chief at the edge of the drop ship just flying over all the stuff going, like it really like I love seeing Halo look like this, because like there was this like kind of rewriting of history when Infinite came out, where some people were like, Halo was never about the looks, it was about the gameplay. No, it wasn't. It was about the looks too, right? Halo was a showpiece, and I feel like this is allowing it to be a showpiece again. And so I'm very excited about this as a Halo fan. And I know there's some people upset. Again, we can talk about the guy wearing the PlayStation shirt, but I don't know how you could see this as a fan.
The guy wearing a PlayStation shirt?
What, the community manager, he was wearing a PlayStation shirt.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
But I just don't know how you could see this as a Halo fan and not be excited, right? Because the last Halo we got was 2021, right? That's when that came out.
Let me yes, 2021. Let me address something real quick in the chat. I see Music 72. He asked me to point out all the stutter in the game.
We get into that.
I will say, honestly, I thought that was refreshing. In a world these days where they keep coming out and providing me false narratives that then get closed later, they told you specifically, and you can't see it right now because we're covering it. They told you specifically that it's pre-release alpha footage. Every time they had a new character show up, you saw it go from like almost wireframe to filling in the gaps. You could see the seams, but then you also saw the vision of what it would ultimately be. They were being honest with the consumer. I think it was good, right? It's not the final product, so it's right there on Front Street displayed, right? But it was showing you what it could be. You want to see it. This is what it looks like right now. Had some stutters, had some choppiness here and there, some pop in and this and that. But you can't blame it for. You can't like judge it now. You're just seeing what the vision is now. Now, of course, if you see this thing at retail and it's still doing that, then we have a conversation.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I wasn't refreshed by it. It's one of the things
I thought that was cool. You know, it is what it is.
I mean, you thought it was cool. I didn't think it was cool. I do accept that it is pre-release. Yeah. It's a pre-release build, but they have to fix that before. Obviously. Because remember when we got Craig Face and we saw all the pop in and we knew we didn't like that then. We can't, we don't like it now. So they do have to fix that. However, fidelity wise, this looks great and it feels like Halo. And what excites me here, right, is that if they're using UE5 and that tells me, and they're willing to do a campaign only, that tells me we can get more Halo.
About that for a moment.
Faster.
Let's talk about that for a moment. Right? Halo has had this pivotal, like it has had this. That's what if anything has been the through line, it's that the campaign has been wishy-washy, while for the most part, the multiplayer has been the sustain, right? They have always had great multiplayer. It's why people still play it. Many people like me will say Halo is dead, but those who are playing it today just listen to what I'm saying and they laugh because they're still going about the next season and they're doing the next thing in that multiplayer. People still love that Halo Infinite multiplayer to this very day, right? So let's not get it twisted. So to me, it's very interesting that they are willing and able to, well, there's a bit of a hedging of the bets there because they are remaking the tried and true Halo CE for the second time, mind you, right? But they are willing and able to separate the multiplayer from the single player, which I suspect they would bring some ire. What do you think about this?
I mean, selfishly, I don't care because I'm a Halo.
I don't care either.
The last time I took I was serious about Halo multiplayer was Guardians. But ever since, I don't care. But because I want more of these campaigns. I'm more interested in whether this is just a palette teaser, or they're gonna remake the whole series and just bring it to the broader audience, or do we go from here to the next mainline Halo?
That's the question, right? That's the question. Now, see, okay, and with that in mind, I want to bring this to your.
Wait a minute, real quick. We got VG Fight School and the one and only Gaz in the chat. Shout out to you.
Good morning, gentlemen. Indeed. So, here's the thing. I wanted to bring this up, and I know y'all gonna come for me for this, but I gotta say it.
Be careful. I'm watching you.
Oh, I'm not even worried about you. I see Pixelbit G's in the chat. It is what it is.
You can get a link real quick and come in here too.
He doesn't need a link. He has there's a reoccurring. He knows what the link is. He could jump in here right now, bro. You're welcome.
Snap. Lord Negatron is in the chat. My Jamaican brother.
Good morning, sir. Yes. So here's my thing, right? While I am excited for this, and I am like those that don't know, I think I've probably I can rival some people's multiplayer time in only the Halo campaign, Master Chief Evolved campaign time. I've played through those things godly amounts of times, right? When you hear that Pierre saved the Master Chief collection, it required a lot of replay from the community. I was part of the insider program. I played that game religiously and kept sending copious feedback. So I know that campaign fully from top to end intricately. I know it very well, so I'm super excited that they're adding this to the mix. I hope they add it to all the others. Here's my thing. After doing the yeoman's work, and those who are into networking and technology know what I'm talking about. doing the most impossible thing, which, let's be honest, took you mad years to get out to land the plane, which is getting that Halo Master Chief Collection together, right? And I'm not even talking about the campaigns, because the campaigns are low-hanging fruit. I'm talking about stitching together the multiplayer in a way that to this very day, if anybody jumps into it, there are still games to be played. And you can find all of your favorite like maps from all of your favorite, that's all stitched together in this wonderful cohesive thing that was damn near impossible and took mad years to accomplish, right? But here it is. It's finally on its feet, right? By the way, you and I were talking offline in the green room. The front end of Halo Master Chief Collection is Unreal Engine 4, right? So this whole stitching together of Unreal with the Blam engine stuff, they kind of like incubated that under the Master Chief Collection, under Pierre, right? So that's why that front end has like this cool nuance thing. My question is, why does it seem like they've abandoned the Master Chief Collection? I want to see, let me finish. I want to see Halo 5 brought into the Master Chief Collection. I want to see Infinite brought into the Master Chief Collection. You can buy these games individually. These games have been individual available forever, right? But in the Halo MCC collection, I want them all to, because they all represent Halo's the Chief's story, right? They all fit in Chief's story. I would love to see this game also have a front end in that thing. Maybe clean up the front end, give it a new nice Unreal Engine 5 front end, because it does have an Unreal Engine 4 front end right now, right? Like continue to let the Master Chief Collection be that monster hub of all of their legacy as it should be, rather than going, yeah, we did that thing. It took us mad years to do it. It's finally on its feet. Now we're just going to put it in the museum, right? What do you think, everyone?
Yeah, I don't think they need to do any of that. Like if they're moving forward, that's a monstrosity of a project. You're in the process of remaking. You're in the process of remaking the series with this game. Like you want to sell this thing, right? Like
true.
Put this out, and then if you're gonna retell the story to bring it to the larger audience, then do that. Like,
and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying bring it out day one with the launcher.
Yeah, no,
eventually, I want them to. That is.
We don't need that. Like the thing is, like what we want is more Halo and faster. And the problem with Halo is that
this will fix that.
They have not been able to kind of move forward with all of that other stuff. Like, just if this is the new start for Halo, let it be the new start and fully commit to this road and do the other new projects. Let's stop living in the past with Halo and bring it
but there's nothing with the past with Halo at this point. You say stop living the past with Halo while we're watching Halo CE.
No. I'm saying from a technical perspective, right? Right. Okay. Like what the troubles with Infinite that led to the long development times and difficulty in creating content was all of the stuff in that like engine that they had to do.
And by the way, can we comment on the fact that whoever's playing this game is totally playing this on like journalist mode? One freaking grenade and they go down. Pshaw, get out of here with that. One grenade? Two grenades, one for each of them. Yeah, what is that? Who's playing that game? Pull that man's card. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
So yeah, I just think that the most exciting thing to me about this is that they're willing to separate the multiplayer and let that evolve on its own timeline, because that was another thing with Infinite and Halo games. Like only Call of Duty, right, has the same level of expectation, maybe Battlefield, right, but has the same level of expectations of how much they have to deliver in a single product, right? You need a full-fledged multiplayer. You need the split screen. You need a full-fledged campaign, and it can't be just like a rinky-dink 3-hour campaign. It needs to be a proper campaign of a AAA game. And I'm not saying that these are unwarranted expectations. That's what Halo has always done, but that's what has always taken it so long to come out. And what I'm saying is, if you can separate those things, which is what we thought they were doing with Infinite, but it didn't work out that way. Like I think that is good for people who want more more campaigns. Maybe more side projects, right? Ancillary stories in the world, all of these things. If those can happen faster, and again, brought to how well do you think this is going to do? Like being brought to everybody?
That's a good question. Do we see this going the way of Forza Horizon on PlayStation, for example? Or do we see this going the way of, say, Gears of War? Because Gears of War didn't do that well.
No, but again, I think Gears of War was a lazy port, not port.
Yeah,
but
of course. It was a remaster, basically. Yes. Whereas this is actually a proper Unreal Engine 5. Yes. It's not a like comparison. Absolutely.
I think this does Oblivion numbers.
You think so? I think so as well. Depending on the price.
Here's the thing: Halo CE was just as big, if not bigger, than Oblivion. Right.
Well, but remember, the reason why Oblivion did those numbers is because, like Expedition 33, at the same time, the price was refreshingly low, right? If this thing comes out and it's somewhere like $40, that will move the units. If it stays 70 or 80, we got a problem.
I don't think this has grounds to be. Again, Microsoft is really like greedy, so they might try. They might get cute, right? Like they might get cute, but you didn't have to do the campaign over, right?
Yeah.
And you're putting.
And of course, even though you've done the campaign over, you're also offering them less because.
Sorry, that's not what I meant when I said do the campaign over. You didn't have to add the multiplayer, right?
Yeah, true.
So there's no multiplayer here, right? You added 3 stages, but you're reskinning an existing game, and I'm not taking away from what they've done because this is a full proper remake,
and it looks great. Yeah.
But this should absolutely be a $50 game. $59.99 at most.
Yep.
I'm calling it now. If they do that price, I think this does Oblivion numbers. And Oblivion, I think, is the number 3 selling game this year. Number 3 and number 4, something like that. And so I think this has such potential and cachet and lives in this great place in people's minds. You're talking about something that was like a 97.
You see that water? You look at that water.
It looks so good. I bet it doesn't
It's
splash
amazing.
touch it.
See, look at Erodimus. Erodimus with a cynical take in this morning. $80, bro.
No, I don't put it past current Xbox to try that. Right?
Yeah. I hope they're listening. If y'all are listening, please, we want to see this IP come back from the dead and live in a campaign sense. Making this game more than $60 would be suicide. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that.
They better not. They better not do that. And again, I think this game is gonna do really well. I think it's gonna be one of the best sellers next year, provided they price it right. But again,
he said make them pay more, ladies and gentlemen. Make them pay more.
Well, I mean, they did that with Gears, but then Gears didn't work out too well because they gave it to the Xbox players for free and was like,
first there was charge them more in 2024, 23, and now there's make them pay more in 2025.
Hey, that's the movement you get as an Xbox gamer these days. But like, again, I just think that like 2026, like if you're talking about Gears E-Day and you're talking about this and you're talking about Forza Horizon 6 in Japan and Fable, if that doesn't get delayed.
Fable got delayed, didn't it?
It got delayed to 2026. I'm saying if it doesn't get delayed again.
Yeah.
But Halo, Gears, Forza, and Fable, and that's just from XDS before you get to any of the other stuff we don't know about.
Yeah.
Because Clockwork Revolution and State of Decay 3 could be coming out next year as well. And we know that they're not afraid to stack games on top of each other.
Oh, yeah.
This year, where they've dropped 10, 80, and above games. I think one of them scored in the high 70s. Right, which was South of Midnight, and we know why that was. But we're talking about 10 games this year so far. And so absolutely next year seems like it's going to be stacked in the same way this year was, but with even more like heavy hitters. So like as a gamer, and as a fan of Xbox IPs, like I could not
Do you
be
see
happier.
them? Do you see them give this treatment to the other parts of the franchise, or this
That's
is
the
just the
question
first?
that I have. Like, do they
Mm.
move on to a
To
new one,
Halo 2.
or do they just retell the story writ large? Meaning
They
these
really
things
should
aren't even
retell the story because remember, look, okay, so let me tell you what I want to see happen here. Okay, this is what I want to see happen here. Again, I've told you my love for the Master Chief Collection and all that, right? That moving forward with new stories, I want to see happen absolutely. But the as you're already talking about, this thing can move oblivion numbers because the past legacy it has is not to be moved past, specifically on new platforms that hasn't existed, right? Even on PC, there are parts of the original Halo story that don't exist right now, right? Halo 5, better or worse, does not exist on PC right now, right? So I would love to see an instance where, because this is called Halo Studios after all, they have multiple Halo projects, right? Like we want a place where maybe because since they've released the campaign by itself, maybe you then release a multiplayer that's also by itself that is not connected to any one Halo game, right? And that's the one that you put everywhere. And then you can kind of be more dynamic in your storytelling without affecting the multiplayer. You can, have a team dedicated to it. Wasn't there a rumor of something like that? Like they recently talked about.
what Infinite was supposed to be anyway, right? It was supposed to be
Well, but
it's a
Infinite was
separate,
tied to it, right? Infinite was tied, different
right, but it
launchers,
was,
true, but it was tied to it.
yeah, but it didn't need to be, but and yet
What I'm talking about, what I'm describing would be more like a Halo Warzone-esque launcher, where that's where you do that, right? And those who don't care as much about the campaign, that's fine. If you do care about the campaign, you have some perks that transcend between the two, right? Obviously, but like a one-stop shop where everyone can kind of be, and when I say everyone, I'm talking about PC, consoles, everyone can kind of be in a sandbox together. Cool games, cool seasonal content. That'd be awesome, right? Skins, all that, free to play, right? Then you can kind of be more dynamic in your storytelling as far as the Halo verse. Maybe re-release a bunch of these
I
in
just
a
had an
remake
idea.
fashion.
I just had an idea, right?
Mm.
Can it, instead of doing what they start with this, and this has 3 prequel missions added to the beginning of it, right? And then they do the full game. What if, my concern is if the next 5 or 6 Halo games are just going to be remakes, you're going to lose a little bit of the luster from the people from the story. Like this one's special because the first one, but what if in the way that they're doing E-Day,
many people also consider the third one the best one, so
right. But what I'm getting at is, what if you're retelling the story without like affecting the canon? So you're basically telling.
Well, that's why they did the prequel, because that's the only way you can not affect the canon. Yeah.
Right. So you basically, if you retell the Master Chief saga, but you're telling it in moments that are in between the campaigns we've already played.
They've kind of done that already with the Halo Master Chief Collection. If you've played it recently, like I've played it so many times, they have filled in a lot of the gaps. They've added pieces to the end of one, added pieces to the beginning of another, so it kind of transitions from one game to another. You can, and there's a mode where you can literally hit the button, and when you're playing it, you've removed all the opening and ending credits, and they've added those pieces in between. So you're actually playing a full story.
Yeah,
they've already added a lot of Blur has helped them add a lot of those pieces in the middle.
Yeah, well, I'm saying do that, but make full campaigns out of it. So they're just new games for everyone. They just take place within the canon that everyone knows, right?
So like do something, go crazy off the beaten path, and then come right back to where it stitches together.
Exactly. It takes some creative writing, right, to do that.
Sure.
But I think that's a way where people that know the lore are still rewarded, but they don't feel like they're rehashing the next 5 games so that you can't move forward in the story.
That is a good question. And shout out to the great Marcelo. Why is it reflecting this way? The great Paris Lily. He asks a good question. He
That's
says,
not Paris.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's-
Calm down. He says, "What if Halo
maybe that's
CE?
okay.
It is Paris. No doubt. I know for sure it's Paris, but these things are reflecting oddly this morning. What if Halo CE ends slightly different, so that you can go on an alternate universe where the story moves past Chief and Cortana?
Are we going to the Silver universe?
Well,
They
so-
end with
so-
Master
so-
Cheeks.
So
And then they go,
Damn.
they go to the Paramount universe.
I wouldn't go as far as going to the past the point where it goes beyond Chief and Cortana, but just the point where they're in an alternate, allowing for that alternate universe, so that they can allow the original canon to stand. So it allows Halo Studios to tell new stories. Right now, you can kind of alter the course of events in your own way, and jump back on canon, jump off canon whenever you want, because you're in an alternate world. Right? People in the world today understand alternate timelines because the MCU and all.
How well is that working out for the MCU though?
But if you want to tell more stories, right, you gotta find some ways around it. This way, they could potentially even like replace voice actors and things, so they can.
So the lore master points out, as he agrees with me, which is hell nah. There's plenty of events in between the stories. This is what many of the books are about, right?
And the books have
several
never
books
that's
that
true.
you could
That's
adapt
true.
that take place in between the campaigns.
Yeah,
I just think that's the way to go. And because I just feel like we're all the people who have been with this franchise for 25 years, like the both of us and many of us in the chat, we're going to be like, all right, can we get to the new stuff? This is good.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at this.
Look, my nostalgia burned bright for this one. They member buried me on this one, no doubt. I am so excited. Like, you have no idea. My kids were like, oh my God, Dad is super excited. Like, I am so excited to replay, to the point where I'm playing the whole thing again.
Your audio cut out for a second.
Ooh,
but we got most of it. You said to the point where you played it again the billionth time, but you did cut out.
My bad.
So yeah. I do want to address a little bit of because I think we've stand out enough, unless there's anything else you want to add.
I want to hear some of the consternation in the community. I want to hear some of that.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard on that.
The Discord had a whole 3-hour crying session last night, I'm told.
Bro,
about this.
Bro, okay. So let me first off, shout out to the great members of the Discord.
Y'all was crying though. Y'all was crying in the Discord.
Man, I was in the Discord.
I had to tap out.
I wasn't in there for the whole time, but I would listen in and out from time to time. And man, oh man. So the funniest thing about this is they first off had those who are very concerned, seriously concerned. And then I don't know who was doing it.
Fake concerned.
And then those who were laughing at them. And we have this grown men crying soundboard. For those who don't know in the Discord, we have the grown man crying about the soundboard. So one half is just like, oh, this is the end of the Xbox. Oh my God, the hardware is done. Everything, read the tea leaves. They got the murder board out, and the other one keeps hitting the soundboard. All you hear is it was hilarious for an hour. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not saying okay, it's going to play sure. That is noteworthy. But I saw this and I was legitimately excited about the way it looked, about the way that they kept the feel of Halo. And I went in there to talk about that, and I just go in there for 5 minutes and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you miserable sons of bitches. Sorry, that's my one for the day. Wow. But I don't know, man. This is good, but okay. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, right?
Yes. Speak on, sir.
It's coming to PlayStation for the first time.
Yeah.
And it is a big deal. You could try to pretend like it's nothing.
It's a big deal.
It's not.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
Right. But
it's like hearing Kratos is coming to Xbox.
Right,
what?
Right. The Halo community, or like Helldivers, but not as bad. But
Mario's coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Or Sonic coming to Game Boy Advance. That was a moment.
Well, yeah, that was a moment until nobody cared anymore.
Yeah, but how long did that take? Honestly, I don't know if I'm over that yet. But anyway.
Oh well, you know.
But the thing is, and the Halo community manager was wearing the PlayStation t-shirt and they're showing the PlayStation controllers, but you know, it is like they've done enough telegraphing, right? They haven't been lying about this for the last year at least. You know what I'm saying? Like if you didn't expect this to happen, like that's just what they're on, right? A lot of people that were bragging about 6 out of the 10 top slots on the PlayStation charts were acting surprised about this, which is weird to me, right? And so you know, I think Halo has the opportunity now, just being everywhere on day one. That's another thing that surprised me. I will say this. I was under no impression that it wasn't going to PlayStation, but after the delay of Forza, which, you know, we talked about, it's a technical situation. The delay of Forza 6, I thought they were going to do something similar with Halo, but it looks like this is going to be day and date on PlayStation. Right? Although we don't have dates, and they could delay it, but they didn't present it that way. Because for Halo, they said what's up. So I was a little surprised but that it wasn't like a staggered release. But I do think, and like the Xbox tax is a real thing, right? But I do think that Halo being everywhere on day one and remaking a beloved campaign. This is a 97 meta campaign. Yep. I do believe that Halo has the opportunity now going forward to be bigger than it's ever been as a franchise.
Yeah, I think so. If there's ever been a chance to give it the shot in the arm it needs, it's this. This is the shot in the arm it needs. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So like on that note, I think it's a good thing. And I don't know why anybody was holding out hope, but if you were, this should be the last time you cry about this. Right?
Hey man, not everybody feels the same. Look, you got Jax 82. He's
listen, I agree. I'm not Jax. Listen. Yeah. I agree, but you cannot say you didn't expect this, right? And you like it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, you know,
and you know
all
what?
you can look for now is that Halo makes a good, like they make a good game, and Halo comes back to being one of the #1 franchises in the industry, because that's where it was.
All this means to me.
Away from that.
You know what this whole Halo going to PlayStation means to me? The only thing I thought of, and maybe this is just me being stupid and Pollyanna, this is the only thing I thought of. I'm like, I really, for a moment, I was like, why do I care? Why do I care? You know, like, what does it mean to me? I'm like, well, the only thing that really matters to me is, hopefully that means that eventually when this thing comes to PC, I'll be able to plug in a DualSense controller into my PC and see all the cool features they've implemented. That's the only thing. That's the only thing you're gonna get. PC gamers will get nothing. There, this is the same thing, except if you have a DualSense, maybe they implement some interesting. Maybe you plug it in and Cortana starts. I took this from Wolf, and then Cortana starts in your ear and goes, you know, Chief. In your ear,
that would be okay. That would be cool, kind of cool, bro. If Cortana came through the mic in the controller. But Halo should be played on Xbox or offset sticks. I don't care what nobody say. They should make you get an Xbox controller to play it on PlayStation.
Xbox controller required.
But yeah, like I think like, and again, this is like me being in the obviously I've moved on to the PC waters of Lake Minnetonka. So this affects me less, but I genuinely think
it affects you none, sir. It affects you none.
No. I'm just talking about from the emotional side of things, right? Because I think this is a good thing, right? But
from the console emotional,
absolutely. But I do think if you are a fan of Halo, like I think that overall this is a good thing. If you're worried about if you're worried about Xbox as a brand, which I feel like worrying about Halo as an IP, haha, I see what you did there. I feel like if you care about Halo more than you care about Xbox, then this is a good thing, if that makes any sense.
Look,
right?
if there's ever been
if you care about Xbox as a brand more, then okay,
then you might not
feel your feels.
I will say Halo brought me into Xbox Xbox as a fan, right? Like that was the first game I saw at a kiosk that made me go, oh, this Xbox thing, I want to try it out, right? And it's what's made me and it's kept me a fan of it. So like I'm a huge fan. The fact that this has brought any news to Halo in general in a campaign way, to me, is super, super, super exciting. So like all slander and ridiculousness aside, like they put Halo news on Front Street, and it's not about a multiplayer. To me, that's a W. I'm super excited.
Honestly,
let's just say I'm reaching out to Microsoft, be like, hey man, I'm here. I'm the biggest campaign fan in the world. Like, hit me up.
Listen,
let's go.
Let me tell you why I saw this and I was hyped and I wanted to talk about the possibilities. This is why I was disappointed last night when I went to the Discord. But I wanted to talk about the possibilities of if they're willing to separate multiplayer and they're in UE5 so they can bring in people to do different things. I think the sky is the limit for where Halo can go. Now, chat, I know you guys are arguing about some other thing, but tell me, tell me if I'm wrong. Like the big Halo guys in here, Slow-Mo, Pixel. Am I wrong about what I'm saying? Like, sky is the limit now.
Oh yeah.
Like, what are you guys negative on what you saw? Forget about Xbox for a second, but Halo guys, tell me what you saw yesterday.
Yeah.
And tell me that that it doesn't excite you for the future of Halo.
Here's my question about this whole going to PlayStation thing. Do you think it makes a splash? Does it?
No. I think let me put it this way. I think Sony better hope that they don't release it on the same day of the two big games they're dropping next year.
So Horizon Forbidden West better watch its back.
Well, no. What's coming out? Soros.
I don't know. I'm being foolish. I'm being foolish. Absolutely. Yeah.
This will sell more than Soros, but it should. And if it doesn't, I think that's a problem.
Okay.
And if it doesn't make a splash, then it tells you it wasn't worth it. And boy, oh boy, if you did that.
So the great Somo Backslap says, I'm still negative on it. I like what I saw, but I'm still apprehensive about Halo Studios in general. I want to know more about how it goes. What is it? Because this is no multiplayer, and that's important. Yeah, that is very important. But see, that's what makes this so interesting to me, right? Like the multiplayer has always been what people know as the backup. Oh, even if the campaign ain't good, the multiplayer, right? Like we're living in a world where people like poo-poo the campaign in favor of the next great multiplayer. So these people putting so much emphasis on the campaign, knowing dang well that this thing has a legacy in multiplayer, tells me they're trying to really push some quality in the single player, and we'll see if it works. Okay,
so speaking of that, I want to know what you guys think about it. And Pixel has a comment also. We'll come to Pixel's comment in a second. We talked about this offline.
Yeah.
In this new world, could you see where multiplayer separated from single player, and you have UE5 so you can turn things out faster, you can bring in more people from the industry that you don't have to teach the Halo engine, right? Because they know UE5. Could we see them potentially add the additions to the Infinite campaign, like just make a new story that follows up from where we left off in Infinite? Could that happen in this new world?
So,
or do you just have to start over and forget Infinite ever happened?
The reason why I think that's more difficult, and I'm just thinking about it in the technical sense, the reason why I think that's more difficult is right now, the workflow they have has stitched together the physics engine of Blam with the front end UI UX, like game engine of Unreal Engine 5. In order to do what you're describing, they're going to have to either forego their own current new workflow and go back to the old workflow and continue that way, big no, or reauthor the original Unreal, reauthor Infinite into UE5 in order to continue that storyline. Another thing that sounds financially unattainable.
Well,
I don't think either way works.
Does it have to be completely recreating Infinite, right? You're telling a new story. What we're concerned with is them addressing the story from Infinite. It doesn't have to be that same.
If you no, it's not about the. I'm talking about logistically. You're in the game, right? We saw the map. We saw the bridge that was broken, right? People try to jump over it using physics. Some people got there and glitched the game. Presumably, if you're telling more stories in this world, what you're doing is you're bridging that map, right? That other side of the map, and then clearing up another side of that map to go there, and that's where you tell your stories, right? But my question is, how, from a technical perspective, do you stitch the Blam engine that exists today, that created Slip Space rather, that created what exists today, and then stitch on the new Unreal Engine 5 and do it in a seamless way without it being an expand alone?
But isn't that effective? Well, I mean, it would be an expand alone. That's one. And two,
so you wouldn't be able to access other parts of Infinite here?
No. I would say maybe no, because you're going to go to the other part of the map and you'll be stuck there for that campaign, right? They'll just have a cinematic that.
So what you're saying is, you start this new game. This game would show you like Unreal, would show you Infinite visuals, right? But when you started the game, it would maybe give you the yada yada yada. Here's where we got to, and now you're on the other side of the engine, and then it moves on.
Yeah, no, ask no question.
Using the new engine,
just on the other side of the aisle, other side of the ring. Right?
I could see that. It would require some interesting stitching, but that would be an interesting way of solving the problem.
I just thought of the "Don't Be a Menace" church scene where it's like, "Don't ask how come or why come we on the other side of the ring." I say, "Don't ask how come the graphics just changed up and we got different biomes." Don't ask. Just play the campaign. Sorry, but if you know, you know. If you know the reference,
someone please clip that. I would love to see that repeated over and over and over again to make him nervous. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, what was it? What was it again? Big Back Charlie, everybody. Big Back Charlie.
Big Back Charlie. The preacher. All right. So let's go to Pixel's.
Go to Pixel's question. Yeah. Yes.
All right. So Pixel's saying he doesn't trust Microsoft to be smart enough to push out new campaigns all over the place every 2 years, but hope it being in Unreal provides the utility to do it now. That's what I hope. That is the hope. And I think there's a possibility for that to happen now. So again, to me, sky is the limit of where we can go.
Okay, so let's catch some super chats because folks are asking and it's growing. So once again, shout out to all the great people that are here. We started this morning with our Halo hype because, man, I didn't get a chance to catch it with the Discord crew, so I happened to watch it later, and then I entered the Discord and heard all the but that's a whole different thing. But I'm super excited for what we saw in what we saw in the footage. I even love that, and I showed that footage a minute ago. I love that they put, in addition to the roundtable, they put a whole nother, what was it, 20 minutes or something? No, 13 minutes of the silent cartographer showing intricate pieces of that footage. It looks great. So thank you all again for being here. If you're not a member, consider being a member of our YouTube channel here.
Really quickly, D'Angelo Parker, yes, there will be local couch co-op that is split screen for 2 players and 4-player online co-op, and that's cross-platform co-op.
Yeah, which is so cool. So cool. Anyway, let's catch up on a couple of these super chats and we'll get right back to it. Actually, the first one who started us off today was the great Sith Lord, who's been a member for 18 months. Salute to you, good sir. He says, "Halo," and good morning, gentlemen. I hope all is well. I see what you did there, sir. And hello to you too. The great MJ Dark, $5 super chat. He says, "#1 Sonic and Mario fan here. Have a great show, guys. Remember, Switch 2 is the best place to play. Xbox Ally is really a PC because playing with us."
Cosplaying with the sticker. First of all, it's not a sticker, sir, it's a button.
Why? Why are we doing this every Saturday morning? Why are you doing this?
Because they are obsessed with this device right here. I'm obsessed with it too, but for
But
better
for a different
reasons.
reason. For a different
Yeah.
reason. Okay.
Uh,
So,
this
and
is
then the
an
great.
Xbox.
Oh boy.
Argue with your
Don't
parents.
trigger the people. Argue with your mama, as it has been said. Then the great Adidas 20 with a $2 super chat. He just a salute to you, sir, on a Saturday morning. Now, Face BKNY with a $20 super chat. Salute to you, good sir. He says, quote, Spencer, if we lose our way with Halo, we lose what it means to be Xbox.
Well, here's the thing.
What does that mean in the year of our Lord 2025 with all the news we've heard now? What does that mean today?
I would argue maybe with this new reveal, maybe they've found their way.
This is the question I'm asking. I don't know if he asked it in a cynical way, like in a way to say that they have lost their way, or that he's saying that with this move they have found their way. But in general, it's a decent question, right?
I mean,
like
their
quote,
way is go release it on PlayStation. So Halo's releasing it on PlayStation. Hence,
look. It's not Halo's releasing on PlayStation necessarily is the writ large story. It's that they keep having to retell the story rather than moving forward.
The Star Wars problem.
Right? It is Master Chief, and we've said it on this show before, and this will bring slander, I know. Is Master Chief turning into the Skywalker problem? Can we move beyond him? I've seen great stories in the Halo verse that didn't include him.
Well, let's stop that right there. We don't need to move beyond Chief. You can do both. You can tell other stories alongside continuing the Master Chief saga. Let's stop that right there. If BV is in the chat, he's gonna come up in here with this kill Master Chief stuff. And to that I say, get out of my damn face.
Mm-hmm.
Both and.
Okay. Understood. And then BK, he was continuing the chat with a slander. He says if Halo data is not on physical disc, I'm not buying, because Xbox been on doing a lot of that lately. So he wants a physical disc with Halo on it. Which, look, let's keep it a buck. Even though we are in this digital age where it's becoming harder and harder to find that physical, right? A game that is inherently single player first, that only attaches multiple online play to co-op, should have a physical disc that has all of it right there, right? It shouldn't be server dependent at all.
Well, I don't know. I don't care about the disc, but it should be on GOG. You should release it.
Yeah, you should be able to, because that's the folly of gaming these days, right? You think the game is on the disc when in fact it's server dependent. So if it doesn't find that server, that disc you have is a freaking frisbee at this point, right? But this game, being that it is single player first, and the only time you really need to connect to the internet is when you're not even multiplayering but co-oping with someone else, there should be an ability to have that thing not be server dependent. I hope that is the case. Because the world we live in nowadays, where everything is connected to a server, is not a great place for us retro lovers.
Yeah, and remind me to say something after you go through the super chats, because we can move on to the next thing. Okay. But there's one thing that I want to button this up with.
Okay, and then of course I always watch the chat. So you think I'm not watching? I'm watching. Mr. Infinite Umbra was being fed by the beast. He says, yes, praise Unreal Engine 5 more. He says, I expect you to praise it next, KSante. No, sir, I will not be praising it next. Stop the cap, as they say. Anyway, moving on. Then, Sith Lord with a $5 super chat, he says, fire Everborn and replace him with me and never start late again. We can start early if you want. People in the chat like taking your job up in here, bro. What's going on?
You can't fire me because I don't get paid, sir.
Oh man. Then we have the great Lord Negatron in the chat with a $20 super chat. He says, keep Everborn Saga, remove Sith Lord off YouTube. Wow. Can't badmouth the homie. More going on right here. Then we have Jax82 with a $10 super chat. He says, I'm for everybody enjoying games. It just looks bad when one side is giving games away that being Xbox, and PlayStation holding on to theirs. They don't share. Why is Xbox doing it?
Can I answer this? Hold on real quick. Let me answer that. Go ahead. You just got Helldivers 2, my friend. You literally just got that. And And this was the thing I was going to wrap this up with, but I think it works to say it now. You see this thing here?
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to call it an Xbox. That's what they call it. But they're literally telling you that the next Xbox, whatever form it takes, whoever makes the case, right? Because AMD's making the chip on all these things. You're using the same Western digital storage. You're probably using all the memory from whoever makes the APU, right?
Yep, probably same system on chip, RAM.
The next device they're saying is going to have your backwards compatible library, and it's going to be a PC. And PlayStation is putting all of their games on PC. What are you really losing here? There's no games that they can keep away from you if you decide to stay with whatever they're offering you. Right? You'll definitely lose everything. Just go to PlayStation if that's the case, right? If you need the console thing. But they're telling you the next Xbox is going to be a PC, and PlayStation ports all their games or 90% of their games to PC. So what do you mean they're holding their games?
Yeah. It is what it is, sir. It is what it is.
To my mind, right? And I'm not saying you have to get this or like this, but they're telling you they're releasing another first-party hardware that's designed by them, manufactured by them, sold by them. Now, you might believe they're lying, and that's okay. But they are 100%. Whatever they do is going to be Windows-based.
Yeah, true.
And it's going to have other stores.
And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that interview as part of this as well.
But what I'm saying is, going forward, even if Xbox is publishing on PlayStation, PlayStation is going to continue publishing on PC. Yeah. And the next Xbox,
which would then Outerworlds go back to Xbox. Yes, true. Yeah.
So,
so
I just
with that. Soltech with a $2 super chat. He says, in 1 week, I became Famas and Ragoon. If you know, you know. Please like and subscribe. Yes, he did. Shout out to the Discord.
Soil Tech playing both sides, I see.
Oh, as he does. He then finishes it off with another $2 super chat and says,
we're gonna stop that right there.
Charlie. If you know, you know.
It is Big Back Charlie. We don't know anything.
And then Big Man Mo. He's been a member for 21 months. Salute to you, good sir. He says, Halo look good. It is fire. Do you think that we learn more of what they have in store and what it really matters? What really matters if it's on PlayStation? It's on Game Pass. That's the thing, right? That's the thing. It's on PlayStation. I hear you. I understand that some people are already in their feels about hearing the DualSense have some kind of, people talk about it'll have the shield, the shield noise will come out of the DualSense. What's it going to do? All that stuff. Some people may have the feels, but beyond that small circle of people who feel a certain way about it, I really do think that introducing it to more audiences and refreshing it in this way has a potential to really, really making it shine and maybe giving it a chance to do more things in different places. I mean, in other stories, the old TV shows are somewhat having new life on Netflix. Maybe the stars align and we see new stories being told on all fronts. That would be freaking awesome because I love this game, this IP. I hope this means it gets to live a lot longer. Then we have Aurelius 5723 with a $2 super chat. He says PlayStation won't have anything worth giving. Jeez, I actually disagree with that. I think the Ghost franchise is still pretty cool. Like people, if you were only on Xbox and the only time you have to play Ghost of Yotai is and Tsushima is on your console, PlayStation putting it out there would be cool. I think Xbox folks would enjoy that as well. Stuff like that, I think people miss out on. So, I disagree on that, but I appreciate the slander on a Saturday morning. And then Face 23BKNY with another $20 super chat. He says, Everborn, the next Xbox will only play PlayStation games if you purchase them from Steam. So Xbox is losing their 30% cut in their pocket more, and no PlayStation single player games day one. You will have to wait.
So to that, I would say, what business is it of yours or mine whether Xbox loses the 30% cut, right? As an Xbox player, meaning someone who buys that device, what matters is that you get the game. How you get it, I don't know why that matters, and I don't know why it matters what's in their pockets. And in terms of single player games being day and date, we'll see how that plays out. But again, you know, I don't know, how long did you have to wait for Forza? Right? And don't say you waited 4 years for Horizon 5, and Horizon 6 you still got to wait. Right? Okay. But people count that as these victories. So if you don't mind waiting for delayed releases, because you don't got Starfield yet, right? But you have an expectation that it's going to come. So there's a lot of games out. So if something doesn't come day one, that doesn't bother me. I'm not playing Ghost of Yotei till it comes to PC. And guess what? I don't have enough time to play the games that just came out this week.
Indeed.
So I got the time, or I don't have the time. So if there's a delayed release, I can live with that. But that's me.
So let's regroup and reframe. Right, there's some games we want to talk about. We'll save that. We'll pepper that through maybe towards the end of the show. But while we're in the shadow boxing territory,
these were direct. I answered direct
shots. Yes,
I did not.
While we're in the dispelling of the gloom and doom, let's focus on the gloom and doom a little bit. And I don't consider this gloom and doom, but I think a lot of people are seeing this as gloom and doom. So let's just talk about this, right?
It better not.
I don't know if you've watched.
I have a
no. We will get into the 30%, sir. We'll get to 30%. That's the financials. This is the gloom and doom section, and that came about, if I'm not mistaken,
when in the doom and gloom. How dare?
Yeah, that was also gloom and doom. But I guess a lot of it.
People who told you they was losing money, now they want to make too much money. But we'll get to that when we get to it.
So Mashable put together an interview with the one Sarah Bond. Shout out to Mashable. I'm watching their video right now on the YouTubes. So I would suggest you check out Mashable's coverage firsthand. But it was an interesting interview, right? And she talked about lots of different things. And I feel like this was the first time they really let Sarah step out on Front Street as the president of Xbox, and really they've been doing that historically as well. But this was really more very comfortable. The president of Xbox coming out, talk about hardware, talk about what they're doing in games, that and the third. You know, I know you've watched it as I have. I found some interesting things in it, but where I think a lot of people are framing their gloom and doom argument is towards the end, and I've seen some articles been written about this specifically, because towards the end, when she is asked to give a hint of what the next gen hardware would look like, she points to this hardware, that being the LIX, the black one, and says this is a hint of what the next gen. Yeah, exactly. She points to that and says
it was an Xbox.
Stop it. She points to that and says that is a hint.
Go ahead.
She points to the LIX. Xbox LIX and says that is a hint of their future plans. She says that it will be a premium, a very premium and curated offering, product rather, and that she hints that is where their head is at, but they don't want to give everything away. I've seen articles and headlines that read something to the effect of, if they're releasing the LIX at $1,000 and they're talking about their next offering being a premium product, then that's the death of the console, because how can you expect them not to release an Xbox console that costs you like $2,000 or some ungodly amount? People are taking this very much in a negative direction. I see others also saying they don't believe it because they say they're working on hardware. Hardware could just be that fabled Magnus chip that people keep talking about, and that could be hardware. And then every time there's next hardware, wait, let me lay it.
Feelings. Nothing more than feelings.
Stop it. And then the next hardware, the idea being, because they hinted, he says that's the hint of what the hardware is, right? And how she said that is, she said that we, the Xbox team, right, her representing the Xbox team, worked with Windows, which is a part of the Microsoft team, and ASUS to bring together all those core competencies, being the operating system, the gaming OS as it stands, right? The actual operating system of Windows being the backbone, and then the Asus partnership facilitating that hardware. So people, I've heard, think that means moving forward, that's their formula moving forward. So you're going to get hardware from a third party or a partner, and then software from them being Windows to support and the software for Xbox. And that to them spells gloom and doom, because that means consoles are dead as you know it. Everyone Saga, the floor is yours, sir.
So are they dead because of this price? Because I was told Xbox was dead last week. And then the week before that, they were also dead. And then the month before that, they were dead too. And we could keep doing this song and dance, but what it seems like is in the face of, I quoted it before, 1080 Metacritic releases this year, several games in the top 10. We're still talking about whether Xbox is dead. They released new hardware in partnership with Asus last week, and we're talking about them getting out of the hardware business, right? It doesn't matter what is said. People are viewing it through a lens of how they feel about the brand, and that is irrespective of what facts are on the ground in front of them. I was arguing with someone the other day about them not caring about the small studios literally on the day that Keeper released. I need you to understand what we're talking about here. So it really doesn't. And by the way, I didn't find this interview interesting. This is a separate aside because it felt more like a commercial, right? The whole thing was scripted. I don't think it may have been done on the Xbox, may as well have been done on the Xbox channel, right? Because no questions were asked. All the answers the questions seemed pre-canned. The answers seemed rehearsed. Like this was literally a commercial. It is what it is, right? But because she said premium,
like the ABC reel, same kind of idea.
Want her to say? Did you want her to say it's going to be a bargain bin budget thing? Because when they tried that with the Series S, everybody castigated them. So now they're saying it's going to be premium. And because they said premium, oh my God. It's the same thing when they say they want to actually make money. I was also arguing that people thought that they got Double Fine to lose money for them. Double Fine and compulsion and all these other things. So it doesn't matter, right? They're not making money. That's a problem. They say they want to make money. It's a problem. You say they're not making hardware. They say, yes, they are. You say, well, I don't care what they said because no, they're not making hardware. You make up a rumor. They address it. They don't address it. It doesn't matter. Right? You say that the Series S is holding things back, and now they say they're going to give you something premium, and you still have a problem.
Big Mad Mo wants to know what is premium.
I was told the PS5 Pro was premium. That's what they told. That's what they told you, and they told you don't worry that it costs $700, now $800. Right? Because you're paying for the performance because you want something premium. You want the best. And now they tell you that they're going to do something premium and we still got a problem.
Some people are coming for you. DJ Marshman says Everborn is shilling hard.
Sure. Okay.
He is the cap man. He does wear the cap. I'm just saying.
The thing is, right? It is like, I think DJ Marsh would prefer that I shield for PlayStation.
Oh yeah, probably. Yes. He concludes that the Series S takes this extra 6 to 12 months development time. That is inaccurate, but we'll continue.
So you don't want a low-end device. It sounds like you want a premium device. Right? So, but again, I do not doubt that the next Xbox will be very expensive by console standards.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that is
no doubt
for a large part of the market. Right. And so, like, in that sense, you know, like I could understand the concern, but you have to see the price, you have to see what they release. And again, you can't be the same person that is in favor of the PS5 Pro at the price they're charging and then get upset when you hear the word premium from Xbox. Because what it tells me, if they said they were going to release something bargain basement, you'd also be upset. We are in we're in a negative feedback loop of it doesn't matter what they say.
They also said exclusives were antiquated. I think I heard Sarah Bond say, which also seemed to really raise the ire of certain gamers.
So yeah, like with the exclusives being antiquated, personally, I don't believe that. Right now, what is true is that she said the biggest games today are on all platforms. That is a fact. You can't run away from that fact, right? Show me any exclusive and I will show you a multiplayer game that sold more than it. You cannot run away from that. You can't spin it. You can't say anything else. So from that aspect, it is true. Now the question is, do exclusives drive platform adoption? Right? And the answer is, for some people it does. But the question is, to what degree and how many players are making decisions? Because we know 50% of the playtime is on what? Free to play games. We know only 4% of the North American audience buys more than one game a month, right? 15% buy one game a month, and the rest of the people are just buying 1 or 2 games a year or not buying any games at all, right? I understand how we grew up. I understand what decisions people make, and that's fine. But if you're in the position to have games that are like Elder Scrolls and Call of Duty and Minecraft, right? Sony doesn't have these type of games. And the games that they do that approach that, spoiler alert, they are everywhere.
True. Yeah.
MLB The Show, everywhere. Helldivers 2, now everywhere.
Yeah.
Destiny, once again, everywhere. So if your goal is to make those kind of games, then yeah, keep them an exclusive won't make sense in that context. But the idea that overall they are antiquated, I mean,
she's trying to sell her product. Like, you know, I think people take these things so literal that then they pull up old situations where they were doing the opposite and say, well, what about that? Today they're selling this product. That's what they're selling. And because of that, they need to facilitate selling this product. So they may say something that, you know, facilitates.
People take these things based on the way
too literal.
They want to take them. And I don't think it matters what they say at this point, because if they tell you something that is the opposite of what you believed, we're just going to say they're lying. If they tell you that they are going to do exclusives again, then you're going to say those exclusives aren't good enough. They don't move the imaginary needle, which no one has defined what the needle is. And spoiler alert, the needles are feelings. But again, antiquated is the way they described it for today's players.
Exactly.
And guess what? You see that gray beard that you have? You and I are antiquated. The exclusives are for us. If you're in our demographic and you came up where we were, exclusives move the needle for you.
Remember, I was making a far more lowbrow joke when it came to that. I said we are horseshoe makers. That's what I said. You heard me say that a long time ago. Yeah, that's what we are. Our time is past. You know, the thing that used to make us happy is over. Our children are looking at us like fools because What is this thing that you're clinging
Well,
to?
I'll
This
tell you,
brand.
when our kids really look at us like fools when we're arguing in the Discord about this stuff.
Yeah, true, absolutely.
Like, I challenge anyone to have
Yep.
their kids watch their podcast or look at their Twitter feed or go into the Discord when they're having these discussions.
And look at you with such disgust and
And
disdain.
look how your kids or your wife look at you about the
Yep.
thing that you're arguing about.
Yep.
All right, so we got VG Fight School with a $5 super chat. Playbook, document all these liars, put their names, make an entire web page or something with details. Let them know you've identified them as liars. That's not a bad plan, sir.
Not at all. And Freddie Fox, he's in here with a $2 super chat. He's actually agreeing with you. He says Everborn tells the truth, and he is called the shill. Facepalm.
That's what happens when you hurt the needle.
See, you see, and what's the needle? The needle is emotion. You know, the E and CEG. Yeah, let's keep it moving.
Move the needle.
And then 30 Below is doubling down with a final super chat. He says all facts 100%. Everborn Saga is cooking right now. Y'all gonna make his head explode. What are you doing? Calm down, man. Y'all creating the beast right now. Anyway. For me, this wasn't too like revolutionary or anything like that, right? As far as news and whatnot, I thought it was actually rather cool that Sarah is taking more of a front seat role, and you're seeing her out there more instead of it being usually Phil Spencer, right? And then, of course, shortly after that, Phil Spencer also did drop some news.
And Matt Booty. It was the trifecta.
It was the full court press. Yeah, they were out there having chats, you know. So let's talk real quick briefly about what Phil was saying. Did you read Phil's words?
Me too, yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
I don't know. I was told Turn 10 got shut down.
Yeah.
According to Phil.
Which we kind of called, right? We called the consolidation and all of that and the optimizing for, you know, to assuage some money, man. But we kind of called the consolidation, and it looks like that seems to be confirmed by Phil, right?
Somebody told me his name is 4 Games Phil. But
4 games Phil. He's released 10 games in the last
or 6 out of 10. But the thing is, I think what he said about Turn 10 makes sense, which is the idea is the team is shrunken down to give him more time. So if Forza Motorsport used to come out every other year, it was like a TikTok with Horizon. Development times
many years
basically tripled, right? Because the last Forza before Motorsport was 2017, I believe, right? So we were talking about a 6-year development cycle, and you can't really keep a full staff because that's going to shoot up the production budget if you're going to take 6 years and stay full staff. So what I wonder is if we will get more motorsport, but then they spin up the teams when they get closer to full production of whatever the next motorsport is going to be.
Yeah.
But again, it is 4 games Phil, so you got to take that with a great of salt.
Stop it. No, but you know what? Like,
what do you want me to say?
That is a good headline grabber, man. 4 games Phil. It's better than Lies of P. I never like connected with.
Funny too, but
it's funny, but it's for you know. But 4 games Phil is funny. That's really that's as funny as the IGN 7. I like that too.
It's like the go-to talking point. They said 4 games, and so you can that people basically try to use 4 games to win any argument.
Yeah.
So,
I understand.
which is, at this point, like I can tell you're losing an argument already when you have to say 4 games. So, but anyway.
So, but like on the topic of the Forza and motorsport and all that, like in hindsight, and obviously hindsight is 2020, but like it does look like it kind of it makes some logical sense, as painful as it may sound. Because between the two of them, they've been kind of going neck and neck for some time, to your point, right? And now when it started to matter, when they were starting to count the dollars and cents of it all, it looks like Horizon is what the people want by the numbers. So the team at Horizon, the bigger, the more quote unquote financially successful Horizon team has kind of superseded, and there would be a consolidation necessary one way or another anyway, because you can't be making the same thing from a different perspective for too long, right? Eventually somebody will be like, hey, consolidate, right? And at that point, whoever's making the most money gets the lead role, and Ouroboros eats the other. And it looks like Horizon ate the other guys, right? Now, does that mean that you never get a motorsport? I don't think so, because even before that happened, we'd heard lots and lots of reports that a lot of the motorsport team members were going to the Horizon team as well. So by the time that decision was made, they kind of were consolidated to a certain extent already.
Yeah, but I mean, they've always worked like super close together or whatever. But at the fact of the matter
but the point is, when management makes this decision, right? You move the deck chairs in order to make sure that when you need that expertise, you have that expertise. You don't just cut them away. You're trying to save money while still being able to make two products. Yeah, so I'm not convinced that it's over.
Yeah, no. I mean, the thing is this, right? The fact is, they're using the same engine. Motorsport just released in 2023. The next one will not be out for several years. And
by the way, Motorsport released in 2023, and it was released not as a numbered sequel, but as kind of like a almost stand its own thing, where it has seasons and seasons and seasons of content. So they may be living with this for a while they go do other things, right?
Right. But the thing is, Playground has Fable and Horizon 6 to ship.
Yep.
Right. And so of the two, who has a product coming out in the near future?
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that's the reason where, it ships it like whoever's going to take the priority, but we'll get to a time when the next Motorsport comes, and then, either Playground will be assisting Turn 10 or Turn 10 will staff up. You know what I mean? So, and again, the
good old days are done. We know this, but doesn't mean it's gloom and doom and it's over.
Yeah. We can't lose sight of, these are, like, we're saying staff down and staff up, but like, these are people's lives.
These are people's jobs, people's lives. Yeah, absolutely. It is.
So on the one hand,
it's a sad day.
Like, it makes sense, but on the other hand,
it's kind of painful. Yeah.
And what else, Phil?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna make note, because we here on this show refuse to let a layoff go by without mentioning it. And we're not stepping away from this Phil story, but I do think it is worth mentioning that Ubisoft is also restructuring a lot, and if you're gonna start seeing lots and lots of layoffs across lots of their different houses as well. It's to be expected, you'd imagine. But yeah, this is all painful, right? So it is what it is. What do you think, everyone? What were you saying? What Phil?
No. But Phil, there was some other stuff that was talked about. In the here's
his
favorite.
Mr. Everborn's side is botting a little bit.
Oh boy.
Yep, the connection's a little body, just a little bit. It's a little bit.
I hear you.
Yeah, I hear you as well, but it's a little body. Chat, if you see him correctly and there's no issue, let me know. Maybe it's a him and I issue, but I think his connection's a little body. But try that again. Try saying that again.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's showing me the low Wi-Fi logo, and I don't see anything. What was the last thing you see in the chat? The last thing I see is from Petran.
Yeah, I see him as well. I think you're current. It's just a little bit intermittent. All right, you're okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think okay.
And you may turn off your video if you think the connection, and now it's a little bit in and out. You may turn off your video if that might help. We'll see.
All right, let's see what happens. They say I sound fine. This might just be a you problem, sir.
Might be. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So where were we before the technical?
We were talking about Phil. Yeah. We're talking about the other things that Phil was discussing, and some of the interesting nuggets that he was dropping during that Famitsu interview.
Okay. Yeah. So he also confirmed that the Xbox Ally is the future of what Xbox software will be. So the next Xbox, however, running Windows with a full screen experience, right? And so, like him confirming it, Sarah confirming it, and Matt saying something similar, like that's just what it is.
They're basically putting it out on Front Street, like, "Hey, this is the new move."
The funny thing,
yeah.
I'm. It sounds like I'm having trouble, but the funny thing was Phil said Expedition 33 was his favorite non-Xbox game this year, and then mentioned it.
And then didn't he shortly after say that what do you call it? Death Stranded 2 was his game of the year as well? I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah,
they're recording this. They're gonna come after you. What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, but here's the thing. But here, two things. He pre-release version, because it says he only has 2.5 hours. If you look at P3 on his Xbox stats, right? But the other thing is, with Death Stranding 2, I mean, maybe he's saying this is his favorite because he knows it's coming to Xbox.
Maybe there's a little wink and a smile in there, that whole situation. He tends to drop those nuggets from time to time and then comes back to bite him later, you know. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But okay.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do, because I think they say that I'm still botting. I'm gonna leave and come
tiny
right
little
back.
bit body. Okay.
Yeah.
And while you do that,
see what happens.
While you do that, let's see what can I get up to. Let me do, while you're doing that, let me do the roundup. Let me let's actually have I'm gonna have a proper conversation with y'all about the Outer Worlds 2, because he'll come back and we'll talk about that as well. I should tell y'all on Front Street, I did reach out to Microsoft and they did provide us codes. We'll talk about the Outer Worlds 2. We'll talk about Ninja Gaiden 4. They provided us codes for both of them, so you know, let y'all know about that. Shout out to Microsoft for doing that for us. But of course, our opinions are our own and all that spiel. But needless to say, I got a chance to try it, and I don't know. So I said this, like that's my first thoughts on this, and I know it might be a little hyperbolic, and I know some people might come for me when I say it, but my first feelings on what the Outer Worlds 2 reminded me of, and no worries. This is a game that could present spoilers. I will not spoil anything. I will make sure that any footage that I share is literally from the beginning of the game. It reminded me of Mass Effect a little bit. You know, you and your crew in space with your spaceship. You know, it diverts quickly, right? Because it is obviously an Obsidian game, and it gave me the vibes, a lot of what do you call it? A lot of Bethesda vibes as well. Also Creation Engine vibes, the way they stop and talk to you, and you know, very much tropes of those kinds of games. But the first inkling of that game is very much like and they start the whole thing, and let me scroll back real quick here. They start the whole thing with almost like a commercial or an ad. You are like a space team, and you're out there like protecting the universe, right? From the like in bringing the law to the universe. You're part of a faction that's almost like Judge Dredd, if you will. They're like they're a society that is controlled by and really driven by law and order. So much so that you're part of a team that disseminates through the universe, and whenever they're talking, they use law as their retort, you know, like, oh, law forbid, something like that. You know what I mean? They're very much like, that is a weird world that they live in, and you know how Obsidian and Bethesda in general and all those teams that Xbox has now produced, you real deep and intricate in their world building. This is no different. If you liked the first one, I think this one is like so much more elevated. It looks like they put the money on the screen. You can definitely see that they put the money on the screen. I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, I've heard all told you could beat the game in about 30-40 hours, But the way I play the game, I'm going to be in it for hundreds of hours. There's just so much density in that small world. There's so much to see in that just small space. When you're moving from one objective to another objective, there's just so much between you and that objective that'll make you like divert so quickly. Oh, let's do this side quest. Oh, let's do this campaign mission, right? Let's do these tasks here, these tasks there. So it's been a really, really awesome game. Like, honestly, again, I think I'm about 30 hours or so into the game. I've been playing. Most of my time has been spent on the ROG. Well, ROG. Huh, this is what I said. On the Lenovo, rather, Legion Go 1. My most of my time has been spent there. But honestly, I've been having a very interesting time with it. Mr. Everborn Saga, he is back on. Can you hear us, sir? Ladies and gentlemen, microphone check 1 2 1 2.
Can you guys hear me?
I do hear you. Your image is still a little tiny bit, little fuzzy and so, but we're gonna keep rocking with it. It's all good. I've been starting to talk to the community about my time so far with the Outerworlds 2. I know you two have been playing the Outerworlds 2. I've already let the fine folks know that Microsoft provided us the codes for Outerworlds 2. I am playing mine on the Xbox Store, Windows Store / Steam Game Pass route, and you're playing yours on Steam, if I'm not mistaken. So why don't you tell the people your experience with it so
far? Okay, so how do I sound? I switched to Wi-Fi. I was hardwired. And
you sound clean and clear. You sound clean and clear. The image is a little fuzzy for me, but it's all good. You sound clean and clear. Go for it, sir.
Okay. All right. So I thought the opening was very strong. I'm only like 3 hours into the game.
Doesn't it give you Mass Effect vibes in that opening? Like a little bit of swashbuckly, you and your crew in space?
So I'm gonna say no, only because of the tone of this. And I think just having played when they re-released the Mass Effect trilogy, like the stakes seemed a lot higher in Mass Effect and in the opening of Mass Effect versus here. Now this is different, right? Like, because the tone is and the writing is very good in terms of humor and things like that, but the scope of the story that they are telling is up there. Yes, right. You are traveling around the galaxy. There's things happening, but I just think with Mass Effect, the tone, because the tone is different, I did not get the Mass Effect vibes. I think this is more of like a lot funnier Starfield than a Mass Effect.
Sure,
if that makes
sense. Sure. I can see what you mean with respect to that. What I meant by the Mass Effect comparisons was the setup, right? The idea of you and your team and the companion quest, and they framed it in very much a Saturday morning cartoon kind of you and your crew going to save the world kind of thing, starting it off in a very interesting kind of superhero path. It turns more intricate, as you know. It gets far more detailed. It goes off of that path immediately, right? Shortly into that, you realize, hey, this is not what you first think it is at first blush. But I like how it introduces itself. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I also am a very big fan of the gunplay in this one. I don't know how you felt about it, but like,
I think it was unusually good. Yes.
Yeah, I think it was better than the first, for sure. And I just also, unlike the first, everything is voice acted, which there was no excuse in the first one to not have everything voice acted, but it didn't. But I really like that about. I think the game starts really strong, and I watched ACG's review, and he said that apparently, like the opening is more of the weak part, but then it gets better. So to me, if it gets better from the opening, then I think we've got a really something special on our hands. The other thing is, I just think the production value here is good. Like the ancillary animations, just the
considerably
cutscene,
higher.
all of it. Yes, this really feels like this got the budget that it deserves. And if this is representative of what Obsidian can do for something like, say, an Avowed 2, I think that will be very special as well. Because I think this is really. Yes,
Hold
sir.
on. Is Everborn Saga advocating for an Avowed 2?
As it cannot have the rock and the voice.
So what you're saying is Avowed 2 without the rock and the voice, but you're still advocating that they do that.
So hold on, Slow-Mo, because I played the first. I didn't finish it, but I played the first Outer Worlds when it first came to Game Pass. And I don't know if they added more voice acting later, but not everything was voice acted when I tried it.
I'm pretty sure it was from day one. You might have gotten to a bug or something, because they will give you the voice acting and the text on the screen at the same time. Maybe the voice track didn't play at the same time as the text, and you thought there was no voice acting. But I'm pretty sure it came at least with all the voice acting in place. It didn't add it later.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I was talking to some NPCs and it was telling me to read a bunch of stuff. And anyway, whatever. That's interesting. Maybe I should go back and check it out.
Yeah, go retry it.
So,
yes.
Slow-Mo says The Rock is not a character. You know what, Slow-Mo? It felt like a character as much as it was in there. It felt like the main character of that game. But the rock and the voice, get rid of that and give me an Avowed 2 with the production value of Outer Worlds 2, and I'm all the way here for it. So,
speaking of Mr. Slow-Mo Backslap, he has a $5 super chat, and he says, "I've been replaying the first Outer Worlds, such an underrated RPG. Never did the expansions. Gonna do them this weekend for the first time." I agree, sir. And if you actually did the expansions, then you would understand where the Outer Worlds 2 falls, because it's like the story continues right off from where the Outer Worlds ends, and the Spacer's Choice DLC, all that stuff kind of resonates throughout this game. So if you have any of that knowledge coming into this game, you see a lot of ties that bind, if you will. It's not like beholden to the story piece by piece. So it's like, if you didn't play the first one, it's not like you're going to be behind the 8 ball or anything. But if you did play that first one, some of the names, the characters, and some of the situations will clue you in, because they're continuing that story from the first one. All right. So, anything else you want to bring up about Outer Worlds 2? What do you think of the scores so far, Everborn Saga? I've seen a lot of the scores give it pretty high praise so far. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's like a 85 or something like that, depending on which platform you look at it at. But the lowest score I saw was like an 82.
Yeah,
I think
it's really, really good.
82. So no, I think they did their thing. I still think they shot this game in the foot by telling people it was going to be $80, because it did feel like it had momentum. People were excited about it, and I never saw that level of excitement after the $80. No, so when I say lowest score, I mean lowest aggregate score per platform, Lucius. So if you go to Metacritic and you say, what's the PC score, what's the Xbox score, what's the PlayStation score, not lowest score of all the reviews. So anyway,
and by the way, let's talk about that for just a brief moment, because Lucius brings up a very interesting point. He says that VGC had a review that focused on Microsoft as a company and not the game. That right there has been something I've been watching writ large, and salute to VGC. I've used some of their articles before. No shade to VGC specifically, but it is something I have started to notice more and more. Like when I saw reviews of the Xbox Ally, for instance, right? Like they'll review the product, and then they'll talk about the high prices of Game Pass being raised, and this, that, and the third, and use that as a noose around the games, around the hardware's neck or something like that. I get that in that
sounds
respect,
like describing the Xbox tax,
right?
That you can't get more literal than that.
Yeah, a lot of that is happening, and I'm just like it's not by folks who are generally console warriors or people who are always about putting Xbox down or whatever. Like there are some reviewers that I pay attention to that I really, really enjoy their work because they keep it to the speeds and feeds. They keep it to very, very like interesting conversation. Shout out to the Fox people like that, right? The people I've had on my show. Not to say that the Fox has delved in any of these waters, but I'm just letting you know that I too follow YouTubers that I really, really enjoy and I appreciate the stuff they do. And some of them, the Fox not included, but some of them have been just like takes that I'm just like, that's a little odd, right? That to your point about the Xbox tax and all of that, some of them have been letting the meta narrative affect the product that they're reviewing or the game that they're reviewing in a direct way, even though that product in a vacuum might be worth a lot more than the company's, than your ire towards the company at that moment, right? And I feel like a lot of that is happening in this world. I really do hope that the Outerworlds 2 does not get afflicted by that, because I feel like probably the only thing that to me might be a little bit detrimental to the fate of this game is that maybe it was released a little late, or they should have picked a better window. I feel like it's sandwiched among a lot of really amazing games coming out right now, and it may not like fare well in that people will not try it. If it had come out in a different time where there weren't as many heavy hitters back to back, it might give it some more breathing room to have more people attempt it. But then, of course, the next question I'm sure you're going to ask me is, what time would that be, right? Because this year has been a year of problems, as it were. So yes,
you said it, not me.
Oh yeah, no. It's true. It is tough to find a window where this can shine, but I really do hope people try it, because I do think that what they have here on their hands here is something special. It's quite interesting, quite fun.
Well, listen,
it's really good.
The only reason like I don't have more time with it, because in the same week, K Asante, Ninja Gaiden 4.
Yep. Talk about it, sir. How much time have you had? How much time have you had in Ninja Gaiden 4, sir? Talk to me about Ninja Gaiden 4. How much time have you had in it?
I like just around 2-ish hours, because again, there's only so many hours in the week. But Ninja Gaiden 4 is very good. Very, very good. And the opening alone is just so great. It reminds me of the opening with the train scene in Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh yeah.
Like it's really, really good, and I'm unlocking more powers. And at first I thought I could mash my way through it, and I was complaining.
Are you not
about
playing
that.
in journalism mode? You should be able to button mash in journalism mode. Okay.
I'm playing on
journalism mode. You can button mash.
Yeah,
as I hear.
So no,
okay.
you gotta be quick on your feet. But just like
even
you
have
the way
to have combos in mind, right? You have to have actual combos in mind. You can't just be fast fisting it and expecting it to be, no. You got to know what you're doing. It's quite good. Yeah.
So, and again, Aaron brings something up. Obsidian is on fire this year.
Yeah,
You've
absolutely.
got Avowed, you've got Grounded 2, and now Outerworlds 2. That level of production is insane. This is Insomniac level. I don't even know if Insomniac has done 3 games in a year, right? And they're like, so, and again, Avowed is not a small game, and we know that Outerworlds 2 is a big game, and Grounded 2 is even bigger than the first one. And these things are scoring well. Obsidian is really a sight to behold. That is one of the things where I think the acquisition definitely they've gotten better since the acquisition, right?
And
like
every release comes out with a product that lands and does not have issues and is broken, and by and large, obviously you'll get patches, it'll get better over time, but by and large you are happy with the product you received day one. That's hard to say in the year of our Lord 2025.
Well, apparently Slow-Mo has some shade for Grounded too. I can't speak on it.
There's
I did
that.
not play Grounded 2.
There's that. Well, because I tried it. I tried it for a little bit.
What do you call it?
Yeah, he says, "Hey yo, I and my friends finally got around to playing Grounded 2 on PC this week. I got shade to deliver. What shade do you have to deliver, good sir? Please let us know. I'm happy to include your shade into the
apparently
proceedings."
there's no upscalers in the year of our
well, but
Lord
okay.
2025.
So here's my question. Do we cut them slack? And this is a genuine question for me. I'm not trying to do any of that, but do we cut them some slack for being early access? Do we because technically they're still early access.
Very heavy to run, and they have the nerves to not have upscalers.
Well, so the reason why I asked that is because as I recall it, Grounded 1 was also unusually heavy until its later stage of development. Like it's almost like they got it running and then they were like, we'll optimize this later, and then filled in the story, and then later on went back and cleaned up the optimization part of it. I don't know if that's what's happening again here, but the first time, like the very first Grounded, the first I'd say 6 months of 3 to 6 months of that incarnation, if you didn't have a heavy PC, you were having problems running that thing as well, right? If you didn't have a PC with a good amount of oomph, I suspect that might be what's happening here as well. But let's see what Slomo says. Wait a minute. He's saying hell no. Early access doesn't mean you let it be unplayable. I did not know it was so unplayable. That's interesting.
I'm more interested in this smoke from Emmanuel. He says runs great on Series X.
Great on Series X.
PC might be the issue. Slow-mo, I know you're not gonna stand. Look at me instigating the chat.
He says it might be a problem between your keyboard and the seat, sir. I'm just saying.
All right. Now I'm gonna let them argue, so I have some entertainment.
Yes, popcorn.
What is the next topic, sir?
Ninja Gaiden 4.
This game is real.
Tell me about your experience with it. I will tell you, I have not played that much of this. I've known that this is a great game since I played it. I played about an hour of it at Gamescom, 45 to an hour at Gamescom. Myself and Aaron, shout out to the great Aaron who's in the chat right now. So I knew I was going to love this game. This is a known commodity for me. But Outerworlds 2 was like high on my list, so I prioritized that above Ninja Gaiden 4. But I know I will be playing this. This is like the blood splatter on the screen alone tells me it's for me. I'm gonna be playing this.
Yeah, the other thing I'll say is, even though at first I thought it was too easy, and now I'm starting to see the challenge as I progress, it is a lot more accessible than your typical Ninja Gaiden.
Yes. I hear they've done a lot in the way of difficulty levels and all that. They've calibrated it pretty well on the various difficulty levels. But if you really want the high end combat, you can still get that too.
Yeah, so I think it's really well. I do have to turn off because it gets very annoying. They have this auto target.
Okay.
And you do not want it on because you'll try to attack somebody and it thinks you want to attack somebody else, and then you're not facing them, so you block, and then you get hit at the wrong whatever. But it's the layers of going to the Blood Raven mode for certain enemies, and then watching when you're about to get hit, and the combos are fighting game level combos that you have to do.
Straight up Street Fighter Capcom level combos. Yes.
Yeah, so you have to do a lot of thinking on your feet as you go, and again, maybe if you go to journalist mode, bashing the buttons will work, but I was definitely wrong about that. They were just it was during the onboarding.
They are coming for Slow-Mo in the chat. It's hilarious. Aaron says, I don't know what Slow-Mo is on. What kind of setup? I get 240 frames on my Series S. Get him. Anyway. Yes.
Yeah. So So you're constantly having to think very fast from encounter to encounter, and it's the onboarding that's pretty easy to get you. That might give that it gave me anyway, this false sense of security and what the game challenge was, but it's very rewarding. So this might be the game that I stick with. However, while I was playing this,
Well, hold on. Before we move
Um,
to a different one, real quick, I have one final question to ask because I did hear some complaints from some community members, and I want to hear your thoughts on this complaint. I've heard that some who have played far longer than we have say that you're like 8 to 10 hours in, and there's no Ryu Hayabusa. What's good? New character, but the new character isn't there. The cover seems to suggest that you're
Yakumo's the
still
new
back,
character.
but Yakumo's the new character, and 10 hours in, you eventually get to play as Hayabusa, but when you start the game and for many hours you are playing as Yakuma. Does that bother you, sir?
No, it doesn't bother me because I just played Ninja Gaiden Ragebound where I was not playing as
as how you again
doing it.
exactly.
And this guy plays very different from Ryu. Like he's a lot faster, like brutal, but not like vicious the way Ryu is. So I don't mind that. Like it's a new game. We haven't had one of these in a long time. They're focusing on a new character and they bring him in. But I will say this, in the opening of the game, if you're paying attention, they do mention Ryu.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
So yeah, it doesn't bother me too much. And again, it's not like these stories are that deep. So if he shows up,
you're not there for the story. Come on now, are you really there for the story? Can you explain it to me?
You're there for the combos and the jiggle physics. That's what Ninja Gaiden's about.
I know. Now I gotta say Gunnar approved. It is what it is. All right. So what other game did you say got some play time for you?
There's one game that I played this morning, and there's one other one that I want to spend a little bit of time talking about. So the one that I played this morning, because it went on sale for like $19.50, Hiragami. This is where you play as a paper mache samurai type warrior. It's a 3D platformer.
If I'm not mistaken, this is a game that when I think it was announced on Microsoft. No. This was announced on PlayStation State of Play, I think, and it is, for all intents and purposes, a console either launch or complete exclusive to PlayStation. But it is on Steam. I imagine you played this on Steam.
I don't know. I'm playing it on my Xbox. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. He's playing it on his Xbox. It's a PC. Yeah. Shout out to all the Discord members. Yes.
Yeah. So no. This is it's like if you're into these kind of 3D platformers, I'll tell you what it reminds me of. Just in the score and the art style and everything, it's really like Death's Door mixed with what's that game where you were putting together the manual as you played with the fox?
You mean with the fox? You mean oh my god, now you're gonna make me forget the name. Lord help me. Oh Lord, come on. And it was made by Finji published it. Yeah, Finji published it. I know who you're talking about. We'll remember. Continue. But you had me Tunic. Thank you, Big Mad Mo.
Yes,
Tunic. Yes, Big Mad Mo got
it reminds me of Death's Door mixed with Tunic.
You had me at Death's Door. Okay. Keep going.
The combat is not like the challenges are not at the same level that you had in either of those games, but I'm saying in art style, tone, and score, that's what it reminds me of.
Being that it's a whole paper mache situation, are they doing like a frame, half a frame walkie thing, almost are they
are in the cutscenes? I can't tell if it's happening like right now. Maybe they are,
because I'm seeing that a bit in the gameplay as well. It's not as smooth. I'm not sure if that's YouTube being YouTube or if the game does have a little bit of.
It is. It's like 10 frames. Not the game, but the animation is like
the animation's running purposely behind, lagging on the frames. Yep. Okay.
If you want to glide, you transform into a flat piece of paper.
That's cool.
I do think this could have benefited from some of the intense combat that would have sealed the deal on this. So this is like one of those more soothing kind of games. The combat isn't too like in your face, and I kind of wish it was. That would have put it over the top for me. But art style, uniqueness, all that is is great in this game. See, he's doing it there. Whoever's playing in this clip,
Mhm.
and then you beat other like bosses, and then you can transform into them. So I beat this rhino boss, and then I was able to transform into a rhino for when I need to break through walls and stuff like that. So, but it's nice. It's a nice, like, one of those palate cleanser type games. But again, when you got Outer Worlds and Ninja Gaiden and the other one I'm about to tell you about, it's hard to, like, you know, sometimes I just want to
Yep.
focus on these kind of experiences more than the big ones. But you know, we got a show to talk about. So poor me. I guess I got to struggle through Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, what a hard problem. Oh, what a hard problem to have. Woe be you.
Right.
What's the other one you're talking about, sir?
Last but not least, this is a game I highly recommend. I want to shout out Slow-Mo and Korkenstein, I think, because they reminded me that it was out in the Discord. That is Dispatch.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Dispatch. Yeah.
A Telltale style game that is done in the vein like it is like playing an episode of Invincible, from the writing to the production value, everything. And it really feels like you're playing like a cartoon. Like it's even though it's 3D, like, but the cell shading is just so good now that you can't even tell that it's 3D. And it's really good. Right? This is some of it here. That's like, that looks like it's a hand-drawn animated cutscene. It's not.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the light
beautiful.
is just really good. And you have like top tier voice talent in it. You got Aaron Paul, and you've got Jeffrey Wright in it, and there's some other voices I recognize that I can't put a face to, but I know that I've heard their voices in Hollywood stuff before. So they're 2 episodes in. They drop 2 episodes every Wednesday. The next episode is on the 29th, so that's this coming Wednesday. Next 2 episodes. But it is like, this is really good. If you like Invincible, if you like Telltale, this is everything you need. And I don't want to spoil any of it, but really, really, really good. And it really feels like Invincible.
Yep. And I love the storytelling and the writing. It is quite something, man. It's quite something. I haven't put too much time into it, because this is one of those fine wine things for me. I'm going to spend some time really, like, putting my paces through it. But yes, this is something that's really a cut above, I suspect. It's special,
Yeah. So again, if you don't have this, I think I paid like
Great Black Viking in the chat. Oh yeah. It's a well-priced game in general. Yeah.
So highly recommend, especially if you want something that's like a palate cleanser between games, or something you can play. You can play an episode in I don't know, half hour. Just knock it out. But yeah, really, really, really recommend this.
So I have one I want to recommend as well, but I don't want to talk too much about it, because I suspect I'll be talking more about it next week when I give it more time. The reason why I want to talk about it is because I feel like, and we've talked about it. We've talked about this problem with games already this episode, so this is nothing new. But like, too many and horrible time. You can't like get enough of a window to kind of like, find your way to playing one of them or whatever. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Godbreaker. I don't know if you guys have heard Godbreakers. It's a roguelike multiplayer game. Godbreakers. I got a chance to meet the dev team. Shout out to the great Aaron. Every time we do something together, like, I remember that he usually elevates the conversation situation. He literally dragged me to this encounter. We had all but finished the day. This is at Gamescom. We had all but finished the day, and then he's like, "Hey, I have these developers that have this interesting game that you may want to go check out." I'm like, "All right, cool, let's go check it out." It turns out to be Godbreakers, and man, I really had a good time with this game. and like obviously it's releasing. I think it's released already. Like it's freshly releasing either today or this week or something. And I'm just like, oh man, I really want this game to succeed, because I feel like it's a type of game that if more people play it, more content could be added to it, and it just gets better and better with time, right? But of course, it's coming out among this crush of content that's just like so like transcendent, so Godspeed to the Godbreaker team. Let me show you a little bit
Can
of
we
footage.
get any footage of this? Yeah.
Let me show you a little bit of and the gameplay elements are basically your beat 'em up style. It's a roguelike, and you can play with multiplayer, a full team. Yeah, it's out now. Yeah. And it's a full team. I love the art style. It's very colorful. You can tell they took the art styles and the style of say your Fortnites to heart. Very deep, very inky color palette. But like the combat, and this is just the beginning of it. I'm trying to find some footage to show you all. That's why I said I'll talk more about it next week when I have gameplay from myself that I will be putting more time into it. But the combat is awesome. The weapon types and the enemy types is really, really cool. Like it is worthy. It's really cool. Like my fear is that, much like some of these other games that come in between the monster games, this will get like little to no attention. I'm pretty sure it even came out on PS5 consoles as well as on the
I'll
on
tell you how
Steam.
much attention it didn't get. I had no idea about this game until seeing it right now.
So there you go. There you go.
And with all the games we just talked about,
Outer
Worlds, Ninja Gaiden. Listen,
this is the problem.
Like, forget about what about last week when we were gushing about Absalom?
Yeah, right? Which I'm still playing, and I'm like, oh my god, I have 20 games now. Yes.
It doesn't matter how good these games are, we just don't have any time.
Yeah. This is not enough time in the day, right, man. And they provided me a code. I still want to put my time into Godbreaker. I will definitely play more of it. And I see both Aaron and Mr. Inferno in the chat slandering me. I see y'all. Yeah, Mr. Inferno says K is playing multiplayer. Aaron makes miracles happen. And then Aaron says it happened twice. He's actually right. It happened twice. Godbreakers as well as Exoborn. 2 games, multiplayers, which I really had a great time with, and it was all because of Aaron. So maybe the thing is, I need a Sherpa. I need somebody to play with me, and in so doing, it makes the game more fun. I don't know, but I did have two great experiences playing 2 multiplayer games. But I see y'all. The reason why I'm talking about Godbreakers in the way I am is because while it is really fun multiplayer, and it also gives you like a good incentive to play it single player. You can kind of play it on your own. And like, and it's not beholden to your team. Yes, the game plays best with a team, but I feel like more and more, and maybe I'll play more of this and report back that my initial thoughts on it are mistaken. But from my time with it, it felt like it was very well equipped to play by yourself with, while going through it. So I'm looking forward to giving this thing a full chance, and I will definitely report back. It's just like we say, too many damn games, man. Too many games, and I want to, and in so doing, I feel like it's letting the good games get kind of short shrift, and it's crushing them, which is unfortunate. We didn't even talk about it, but
the problem is it's not even good enough to be a good game anymore. Like you have
it's got to be like transcendent. It's ridiculous, right?
Yeah,
it's just unfortunate. Yeah, we didn't even talk about the fact that what's the team? How a Hyperlight Breaker, the team that made Hyperlight Drifter are now making Hyperlight Breaker, which is like a 3D version of that original Vision. I mean, awesome game. I got a chance to meet some of the PR team for the game. They were talking about, all the great content that they're planning on releasing. Recently, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Laying off most of the studio. It's all gone because it's just too many games and not enough time. And it came out in early access. And I don't think people are giving it the time that it needs. So, and if it's not doing it, then you can't afford to continue to keep people on. It's so sad. I love that game. I think that the concept and the game and the idea is just so good. It's just sad. It's sad that it's not enough to keep people, people's attention. You have to be insanely transcendent in order for it to do so. But yeah. So more about Godbreakers when I have a chance to put some more time into it. But I wanted to mention it because, to Aaron's point, it is out now. It's on the consoles as well as on PC. I will tell you, I'll tell you that I haven't played through it completely, but my time with it was really impressive, and I really enjoyed it. And it really is multiplayer first. So if you have a chance to, and you're about that life, then maybe you should give it a try. I will report back with more when I have more. So all right, what else do you want to talk about here, Mr. Everborn Saga? I feel like there's been a lot of gloom and doom in our community, but there's also a lot of excitement as far as the games that have been releasing, and there's that juxtaposition where people seem to be maybe missing the forest for the trees a little bit as far as the gaming hobby these days. What do you think?
I mean, you know, if you're dooming and glooming right now with all these games we just talked about, and all the games we talked about last week, and all the games we missed, maybe you don't like games.
So
maybe you're in this. Maybe the discourse for you, the way you engage with this hobby, is to be fighting about it. But like, if you care about games, there are literally too many to play right now.
So let's end
all
this
you focus on every day is how bad this or that is, whatever it is, whatever floats your boat or whatever sinks your ship. That just tells me you're not playing these games that are out right now, because it's just, there's no time for this. But go ahead. What do you got for me?
What is going on here? Aaron is like out there doing some dirty work. What are you doing? You all are terrible. Don't set me up for failure.
Have their fun, sir.
Anyway, let us end this show with the final topic. And that final topic, I want to have it as a final topic. I will open it up and I will let you have it, Mr. Everborn, because I know you want to rant. I will allow you to rant. And what am I talking about? I am talking, of course, about the whims of the hood, the one that drops the hammer, the one that presumably sets the edict, and now all of the gaming world has now lost its way. It's over. They now have to adhere to a 30% margin. Oh my God. Mr. Everborn Saga. Oh, he's put on his glasses.
No, that's completely coincidental. Correlation, not causation. On
he's like, okay, let me pregnant pause and put on my glasses. Go ahead.
No, see, when I do this, then but the thing is this. Yes. The thing is, right? There are a few things that we know, right? What we know during the ABK trial, and what we're talking about is pre-multi-platform strategy, Project Latitude, whatever it's called. Pre-ABK, they were at 12 to 15% accountability margins, which, by the way, was higher than what PlayStation's usual 10% was. And what we were told at the time was accountability margins don't mean anything. It is not net revenue, right? It is not operating income, because it doesn't account for X, Y, and Z. Meaning maybe it doesn't account for Azure because they use Azure, but that's money that's going in-house. Maybe it doesn't account for the other businesses in the more personal computing segment. Maybe it doesn't account for, you name it, right? Windows licensing, whatever it is. So you can't go by that, and they're just cooking the books with accountability margins just so that they look like they're profitable. And now the same people that told us that are flabbergasted now by the 30%, right? So this same stat that they told you means nothing, now people are concerned about it. And it's the same people. And this is what I mean by anything. Anything can be spun in a negative direction, right? And here's the fact, right? If they were at 12 to 15% pre-ABK, pre-Project Latitude, now you got Forza selling out on PlayStation. You got Oblivion. You got all this multi-platform strategy. You have Call of Duty, which was already, by the way, Activision itself was already at somewhere between 25 and 30% margins. That is now rolled in. Now, if you look at the latest 10K from from fiscal 25 of Microsoft, you will see that the gaming division brought in nearly 24 billion in the more personal computing segment. You know what else is in that segment? Windows and devices and search. You know how much money Windows and devices and search made? 17 billion each. So you're talking about 24 billion versus 17 billion. Gaming is bigger than Windows. And the 30% is an overall business segment goal. So if they were at 12 to 15, you add ABK, which was already at 30, and then you add multi-platform. What we're effectively talking about is a goal of increasing margins by single digits. You know who else wants to increase their margins by single digits that just told you this? Sony said that. Yes, but we didn't get this whole they'll be gone in 5 years. We didn't get any of this, oh my God, they don't want to make games anymore. We didn't get any of that. And again, in the face of them releasing a game like Keeper and a big AAA game, if you want to call it that, well, Microsoft called it that because they wanted to charge 80, a AAA game like Outerworlds 2, and whatever you want to call Ninja Gaiden, in the face of that, we're told they don't want to make different games anymore. The same week that happens. And again, if they have a goal that is set for 30% margins, don't you believe that there's some way there already?
Yeah.
Right. And again, last week they were getting out of gaming last week.
You would think that they wouldn't be zero to 30%, right? It wouldn't be 0 to 30%. They're somewhat of the way there. So, you know, you'd think that the money men are now seeing the trajectory as achievable, and that's why they're asking them to hit that goal, right?
So
that's the presumption.
This is why I have to watch, like, I gotta watch who's saying these things and what they've said in context before. And you know why 30% sounds so out of pocket?
Why?
Because right now Nintendo does 25%, right? 30% is out of pocket because we all know that Sony is trying to get to 10%. So all of that money that Sony makes, they're trying to get to 10% margins. So when you hear that Xbox is looking for 30% margins, you have to do two things. You have to say, one, there's no way that's attainable, or you must admit that Xbox was actually making money this whole time. And we can't have either. So everybody loses their mind. Right? And again, I understand if someone's, well, actually, I don't understand, and I'll tell you why. But people who are otherwise smart about this thing said, well, what about the independent studios? We were sold on the pitch of bespoke studios like Double Fine and Compulsion and Ninja Theory making the games that they want. And I'm like, well, you just got South of Midnight and Keeper this year. They did all of these layoffs. They had every opportunity to give Double Fine the boot, and that didn't happen. And they let Keeper come out. Nobody thought Keeper was going to make a lot of money by that game, and they let it come out anyway. Right? So my thing is, I'm less worried about losing games like Keeper and South of Midnight. I think that they can get to the 30% by the things they've already done, which is things like releasing Halo on PlayStation and no longer taking a loss on hardware and things like that. But if you say on the day that Keeper comes out that they don't want to make these games, like you don't have the facts on your side from that. And again, If they weren't making money, it would have been they're leaving the business. Now they are making money, and you say, "Oh my God, they're going to make too much money." Right? Again, this is in the face of 10 games so far this year. 10. So they're making more money than Windows. They're making more money than ever. The executive goals have already led to bonuses for Satya and Amy, right? 15% raise. And Pixel says, I just contradicted myself. Please explain why, sir. The executive goals said that they're making more money than ever. They're releasing more games than ever. And somehow they're still dead. Somehow they're still leaving the business.
It's over.
Last week they didn't make no money. This week they make too much money.
Jova.
So somebody give me a logical argument that doesn't lead down the path of no matter what news you hear, you are going to spin it into a way where they're dead or they're losing. So
Pixel, the great Pixel G says
Microsoft doesn't have these studios to lose money, and then you say Keeper wasn't going to make money. And the answer to that is the value that all of those individual smaller games bring to Game Pass will increase the value of Game Pass.
Yes.
That was the expectation. It wasn't
not specifically to come here, you're going to lose money. No, their dollar amount value was being evaluated under a different barometer. It wasn't initially the dollars and cents of what you bring in, but the value writ large that it presents to the platform as a whole. Am I wrong?
Right. Now, this is another opposing view. So he says, somehow you failed to mention increasing Game Pass. That's part of getting to the 30%, right? And the canceling of games. My point is they didn't cancel the smaller games.
Which they could have, right? Those were the low-hanging fruit.
Was that they would cancel the games like Keeper in favor of the Fallouts and the Halos and the whatever else. I'm saying we haven't seen that. And when we see that, then we can say something. What got shut down was a AAA studio. The project that got canceled was a large AAA project that was in development hell, some might argue, for over 6 years.
For many years, for many years.
That's what was canceled. The Tango Gameworks is a different thing because they lost the head of the studio. So again, I will share those concerns when these games stop coming out and when the smaller games get canceled. Right? And again, the refocus, this is the last part of the knowledge that I know that they are refocusing on. They said high impact titles and smaller budget high impact titles. So smaller budget says you still get the creative things. Right? I think Slow-Mo's saying something else. Hold on. You don't know why they didn't cancel the games. They could have very well not been canceled because they were close to launch. True. But they didn't get canceled and the studio's not shut down. Again, all I am saying is if this is your barometer, that in the face of the release of games, you still hear 30% and that spells doom and gloom for you, then you will always feel that way. It doesn't matter how many games they release. It doesn't matter what hardware they release. It doesn't matter what their numbers are. You're going to be in a constant state of this is going to go bad. And if that is the way that you view it, that's fine. Right? But I can't view it that way until we have evidence in our face. Right? Because you're always going to feel that way. Because if they don't get shut down or something doesn't get canceled in the next round, then you're going to say, well, maybe next time. And then when next time comes, if it doesn't happen, then you'll say third time's the charm. Right? You're never going to not feel like this. And I can't do that. Right? So if you're providing me games, I'm going to say you give me games like that.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're just moving off your feelings.
Yeah. Which, you know, we already know what that does. We're still getting pushback, which, by the way, just so you know, this is the kind of conversation you'll have in our Discord. Join our Discord if you haven't already. Discord.com, discord.gg/TGCP. Again, discord.gg/TGCP. Join the Discord. We have these kinds of amazing conversations, these thought-provoking, these narrative barbs are thrown left and right in our Discord. We call it the Octagon of Ideas. The one slow-mo backslap, and also the great Pixelbit G are a member. So is the great Soil Tech. Please join us. If you think these gentlemen are wrong, or you have a better framing of this argument, join us and make your voice heard. All members are welcome. But yeah, all right. So I don't know. I think this conversation is going to continue. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
It is, but I do want to highlight the opposing view. So Pixel says Hi-Fi released and then the studio shut down. They made this world, not the fans. So, okay. And then Slow-Mo says the idea that they will continue to fund these kind of games when they would literally need to wait 2 years minimum to see if those kind of games are being revealed is foolhardy, especially when this has not turned out for the Xbox Defense Force side recently. CERT is the Xbox Ally Defense Force. I don't know why I have to keep telling you this. My Xbox Ally right now is, I don't even have the Xbox app running. I'm running Steam, but that's neither here nor there. So the point is, he says, Phil said Everwild looked great and then canceled it months later. How long was that in development? Right? Everybody's canceling these games. Right?
True.
Everybody's canceling games. And so games got canceled. I'm not denying that.
Games get canceled every day, B. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying right now.
They do. And I don't think that I don't think it's unreasonable to say, hey, when a Ninja Theory or a Double Fine project gets canceled, then I'll start to have that concern. Right?
Slow-mo backstop getting very aggressive in his analogies in the chat. We ain't highlighting that one.
I'm not highlighting that one. That is a Discord analogy, Slow-mo. Let's slow that down.
That is below board, sir. That's below board. Okay. But all right, so I guess the topic writ large, which I guess we could end on, and I'll ask you this, and I want the chat to kind of weigh in on as well. Like, how real? Because there's a lot of gloom and doom out there, and a lot of craziness. But then when there's smoke, there's fire sometimes, right? And these conversations are coming out because there must be some conversations happening somewhere within the ranks that may be leading to this. How real do we really think there's actual moving and shaking within the ranks, and it's just a molehill being made a mountain? Or there's absolutely nothing going on, and this is just the community toiling? What do you think?
I mean, I think I've made very clear that I think we're in a.
You just think they're all just toiling? Really, they're not.
No, because
really serious.
No. This is the thing. I feel like what I'm ultimately getting at is like, is there like is there any difference between like constructive criticism and a constant state of everything is terrible all the time? Right?
You think we're in everything is terrible all the time?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you read. Like, you cannot, like, we're in this space where it like you just can't hear like any piece of news is going to be spun into this negative thing, right? So is there no space to say, hey, maybe things aren't as bad as the community overreacts to it too? Because the community never overreacts, right, Slow-Mo? Right?
Well
Right?
done, sir. Well done.
Everybody's just legitimately concerned. Everybody.
Mhm.
Right? So from one opinion, I'm not following that. Is that towards what I'm saying?
I think he's saying that the reason why that is happening writ large on them is because like there's where there's smoke, there's fire. You don't get that you don't get labeled that way coming from one opinion. Lots of people are seeing it, lots of smoke everywhere. They're getting that label for a reason, is what I think he is saying.
All right. I just think that it doesn't. Oh, okay.
He wasn't
so
talking.
That's why I didn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, is it not like if is it possible that we could be missing the forest for the trees? Right.
This is the question I'm asking.
Cannot be. Yeah. It cannot be like it cannot be that every day and literally every day it's just something that's spun into this negative light. All of that can't be as bad as people make it out to be. Because you know how we know that? Because for how many years straight have we been saying, like the discussion been Xbox is dead, Xbox is bad, Xbox is leaving the business, Xbox is not making hardware anymore, Xbox doesn't have any games, Xbox, all of that, right? I'm not saying none of it is true, but it seems like the same folks always fall on the side of, well, this is just constructive criticism. Have you ever agreed with any of the positive stuff? Ask yourself that.
I will let Doc Dark, and shout out to Doc Dark. Ooh, hey, what's going on with this thing? Hold up. There it is. There it is. What the hell? And yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. Anyway, I will let Doc Dark's last statement. I'll let his statement live. And he just says he just ran 2 miles, 18 minutes, by the way, and listened to Everboy's explanation. All he had to say was Xbox tax. That's it.
Oh, I said that at the beginning. That's what I said at the beginning, sir.
He should have just said Xbox tax and then walked off. Would have been done. Instead, he spent 18 minutes explaining what he could have just said with Xbox tax.
You got all these negative Nancys and Normans.
Anyway, shout out to the great Doc Dark. But no, I by and large agree with you. I think, remember, you and I have had these arguments or these debates and these discussions in the background for some time. I've always
do you ever wake up not mad?
I have always been the anti-perception versus reality person, because when you live in the perception is reality verse, then when you wake up, your emotions dictates reality. And that like is a slippery slope. And that I think is where we find ourselves. Because when facts are facts and can't be denied, the sky maintains blue whether you like it or not. But when facts aren't facts and they move by your whim, now all of a sudden it's purple and we got to go there because God forbid you said so. And that's what we are.
You say you care about games and they released 1080 Metacritic games this year. And
now we got to find some way of pretzeling our way into how they're negative there.
You said they was leaving the business and now that the business brings in more revenue than Windows. So now you got to say they want too much money. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
and it's coming from Xbox fans as well, right? So it seems like it's more about the battered wives, or I don't, no disrespect, but you know,
listen, some people
those who are used to being beaten.
So I was talking about this week, right? There's this concept that I've been thinking about called punitive cynicism.
Okay.
Meaning someone has or you distrust someone or something, and therefore any information, anything that comes out of that entity or person's mouth You
Can't be
don't go
trusted.
to your logical brain. You kind of go to the, well, they're liars, so they must be lying. So if a certain politician, which I will not name, you pick your poison, tells you that the sky is blue, you're gonna be like, nah, the sky must be purple because they said it. Right. and so again, one person can read a thing and they can add their context to it, but there's other context that is being ignored, and nobody has answered the 10 games thing. Nobody's answered where the finances are thing, right? So you can say that I'm ignoring context, but you are not acknowledging the context that I have offered, unless you're saying that the games don't matter. So please tell me if the games don't matter.
All right, so I call this shadow boxing, even though he calls these direct shots.
No, I'm talking about slow-mo.
Okay.
And a little bit.
We're gonna let these direct shots sit. Yeah, a little bit. We're gonna let these direct shots sit. I will say, folks in the chat, join us in the Discord. We have a lot more conversations of this ilk. We have these introspective conversations about the gaming ecosystem at large, and more different topics and stuff within gaming as well. To that end, Ragoons, y'all have a homework from me. I need one of y'all to install Bazite on your Xbox Allies. I hear that the Xbox Ally under Bazite. No, I'm not even talking about the Ally X. I'm talking about even the white one. I hear that the Xbox Ally under Bazite has a substantial uplift in performance, specifically for the Z2. I'm not talking Z1. We already know what the Z1 looks like under Bazite, right? But the specific for the Z2, we hear that and I've seen a few videos of it where folks have complained about the performance of what the Xbox Ally is, but and not the Z2 Extreme. We're talking about the Ampere architecture that the Super Switch Steam Deck architecture, and it running on Bazite seems to perform considerably better. So there's that. So much so that it's like eyebrow raising, like 40 frames, 48 frames a second to 65 plus between the operating systems. It's kind of wild. So if anybody wants to delve deep there, I would love to see if you get those results as well. Hey, if I get an open box matter, maybe you'll see me with the white one and install Bazite on it for scientific purposes. We shall see. I don't think I'm going to do it, but I hope somebody in the community does it and let us know how it turns out. Secondly,
John Wolf says, Everborn, all I'm hearing from you is leave Britney alone.
Yes, that's literally what he's saying. Yes.
Here's the thing. Like the issue that I take is nobody questions anything that is negative, right? You like at all, right? Because we're in this space where the brand has hurt your feelings, and so now everything negative you hear is just taken as fact.
It's good. It's good. Yeah. If it's positive, then you get a side eye. If it's negative, then it's probably true.
The question is, so now I have a different take, and I've been called a shill. I've been called ignoring facts or whatever. But because you guys are negative, you guys are just all 100% right. And anybody that says anything, let's take that as fact. And then the things that we have that are facts, those facts don't matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not continuing this between at 2:30. Join the Discord because this is gonna keep going. Oh boy, this is gonna keep going. Anyway. Oh, and another thing, I'm gonna let the slander sit right now. I'm gonna drop this nugget and then we can get the hell out of here. Everborn Saga has been coming after me for my potential for saying that I will buy something that I say I won't buy. He may get me for this one. I might get the Legion Go too. I don't know. I might get the Legion Go too. We'll see.
CCP pass.
I might get the Legion Go too. We'll see. I wasn't getting it at first. Y'all heard me here before. Digital receipts. I still contend that it's not worth the price. It's still way too expensive. But if you're in a position to be that pay pig, that thing does look nice. I've been watching more reviews and stuff. I might get the Pink Legion go too. So you'll see how it goes. Anyway, but that's about it for me.
Sir, I didn't call you a negative Nancy. I called you a negative Norman.
Oh, here we go. You see, they're gonna keep doing this, ladies and gentlemen. Join the Discord. You can have some popcorn. You can just sit back and get on mute and just hear them this bitch like back and forth like little girls for all day. It's gonna be fantastic. Anyway, besides that, Mr. Everborn Saga, where can they find you? Are you going to be more Mr. Everborn contractor this day, or what else are we doing?
Oh yeah. We're starting the deck this week, and you will find me in the Discord if y'all stop crying in there.
Stop crying in there, man. Y'all crying too much. As for me, of course, you find me on GCP. We'll be doing some more things here on the YouTubes as well as also on the website. More to come there. We're still kind of moving and shaking, trying to find a new norm for that place. So we'll see what we do. Otherwise, we'll be back here next week. We're talking in the background, maybe some interviews, some other things. A rare pleasure when I get a chance to talk to developers. There might be some opportunities to do that sooner rather than later. So looking forward to doing that as well. Other than that, we are getting quite close to episode 200, ladies and gentlemen. I think today was 196.
You gotta do something special, man.
Hey, man, it's 196 episodes in. Episode 200 is 4 episodes away.
You know
Let's
what?
get some ideas going as to what can happen. Oh, you got an idea? Okay.
So,
is it a Front Street idea or a background idea?
No. This is idea for the chat. Chat, if there's anybody special you guys would like to see us have a conversation with, reach out to them. Tell them we got 200 episode 200 coming up.
Clip this video right here and send it to them on the YouTubes. Tag us. We would love to have somebody interesting, because we always have lots of great, interesting people. So let's continue that tradition. We've had so many wonderful humans join our show and talk with us. Who else should we send an invite to? Big or small, it doesn't matter. Somebody who wants to talk games, it'd be great to do that. So yeah, if you have a chance to clip this video, share it out, let them know, hey, you be good on GCP. We would love to invite somebody new, some new blood, somebody interesting onto our show. Why not? But yeah, episode 200 is very, very close. Very, very interesting. Huh? All right. Oh, see, there's Wade Johnson. We've had Dirt on the show before, but not Sean. We've had Dirt on the show before, but we'll talk to Sean and Dirt.
Maybe
Why
we
not?
can get,
It's been a minute.
both of them.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Let's talk in the background, see what we can do. Good brothers in the community. So they love to be slanderous, and I know y'all enjoy some of that slander as well. Anyway, so that's it from us, man. I know you know already, but we're still gonna tell you anyway. Please join the Discord once again. That is discord.gg/tgcp. Also, don't forget to go to the everbornsaga.com where you can pick out some great comic books. Tell the fine people more of what they can find on the everbornsaga.com, sir.
Yeah, why don't you show them the everbornsaga.com? But yes, go to everbornsaga.com where you can get our latest books. We have a bunch of Everborn specific merch, and we have an entire GCP section. And if you get anything on the website, use code at checkout GCP, all capital letters, and you will get 15%
capital leopards
off the entire letters. Damn it! By the way, that's not just for the GCP merch. That's for anything you buy.
That's for the books, everything on the site. That's great.
15% off. Yeah. Code GCP at checkout.
Yeah. For those who want it, we got to charge them more shirts. For those who want to, cry cry like criers do, we have the CEG shirt for y'all, for the criers, for the emotional ones out there.
I don't know what criers.
For those who want the chaos, we have the FAMAS shirt. You know who you are. It's out there. But now, thank you everyone for putting this out there, letting people do it. And by the way, if you do find yourself purchasing one of these, which we hope you do, shout out to the community. Like put it out on Front Street. Let us know. Tag us. We would love to see you rocking that gear. I have ideas for new idea for gear. We'll talk in the DMs and potentially get that off the ground as well. But I think that's it, man. We're out. This has been a great time. I've enjoyed my time with you guys as usual.
I'll drop the link in the chat as Black Viking said. That's probably smart.
Yes. Before we get out of here, we will drop the link in the chat so you too can go to theeverbornsaga.com and get yourself some fine merch. There's the link direct to it. Hopefully you peruse the site, get you some books, a lot of good things out there. But that's it from us. Shout out to the Discord members who are in the chat right now. Shout out to all those who are great and brilliant, who have helped us get to 3K and we're growing beyond that. Thank you so much. Shout out to those of you who chose to hit the like button before I asked. But if you haven't done so already, how about you do that? We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. And we will see y'all next week. Peace.
Thanks for being on it.